Joyful dads filled the air. This little moon pig was completely unique, made in minutes.
Wow.
This little moon pig wanted to say thanks for everything.
Oh.
And this witty little moon pig made Tony go ha 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 all day long. For when it comes to Father's Day, it must be a
moonpig.com.
Download the app now.
I make 5% cash back on everything I buy. I made 5% back on that.
On this!
Look, Daddy, give me 5.
5% back on this workout. And 5% back on this. New card members get 5% cash back on all purchases up to £100 for the first 3 months and no annual fee.
Make more with the American Express Platinum Cashback Everyday Credit Card. Representative 25.3% APR variable. Minimum annual spend to receive cashback. Terms apply. 18 plus subject to approval.
You win some, you lose some. That's why at Mr. Q, the online casino, they've got hundreds of games where it's not all about winning, but playing for the fun of it. So, for a bit of no-nonsense fun and 20 free spins on Fishing Frenzy to Big Catch with your first deposit, get yourself over to mrq.com. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org. £10 deposit required. All winnings uncapped and credited to your balance. Full T's and C's apply.
Good evening, night workers. This is the last train home, calling us a job well done and ready for bed via 6 McNuggets or a warm apple pie. Our final destination, as always, is home. Plenty of McDonald's restaurants are open late tonight. See mcdonalds.com for opening times.
Do you have any plans for the weekend? Maybe you're painting the spare room. Save that for another day. Cutting the lawn? It's short enough. Or visiting the in-laws? That can definitely wait. For this weekend is the Volvo Select event with 0% APR finance on all approved used cars and 2 services for just £299. Book online or drop into our showrooms. You have 0 excuses to miss it.
Used cars up to 4 years old. Participating retailers. 50% deposit. Volvo Car Financial Services UK Limited. 2 services on used cars under 3 years old. Terms apply.
Feel the passion. Feel the pride.
What a finish!
The Nations League on TalkSport.
Well, check out the TalkSport Edge app. Loads of good stuff on there. You can actually watch the breakfast show go out live on that app as well. Laura and Ali with you from 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. All sorts of stats on there. Great videos on there as well. Download it where you get your apps. The TalkSport Edge app. A lovely warm welcome from the German stadium announcer a moment ago in here. He said, fans from England, warm welcome to Munich. We're delighted you're all here after a week of celebration in your home country. Have a good one. Lovely. And I hope that's reciprocated as well. Let's remind you of the teams for Germany, England, live on TalkSport with Jim Proudfoot.
Well, it's the oldest 11 that Gareth Southgate's picked since he took charge. An average age of 27 years, 89 days, and it's the most experienced as well, beating a 5-year record that had been intact since England last came to Germany back in 2017. A back four for England as they make 5 changes. Pickford in goal, Walker, Stones, Maguire and Trippier, Rice and Phillips, Sterling, Mount and Saka, and Kane. 7 changes for Germany, Neuer in goal, Klostermann, Rudiger, Schlotterbeck and Raum, Kimmich and Gundogan, Hoffmann, Muller, Musiala and Kai Havertz up front.
Jim, thank you very much. I sat down yesterday with England manager Gareth Southgate. We had a good long chat and tackled some of the key current issues. We looked at tonight's opponents, Germany. I got his thoughts on one of England's most decorated current players, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and we started by talking about the accusation that Southgate tactically is too defensive, too negative. All this after the defeat to Hungary, who had more shots on target than England, live on TalkSport on Saturday.
James takes the throw, Stones volleys it forward, and it is Hungary's first win over England for 66 years. And they've deserved it. This has been the most inauspicious start to a Nations League campaign.
Well, we've been the highest scorers in Europe last year, that and goals per game, because we obviously played more games in the end because of getting to the final. But goals per game, I think only the Dutch scored more. So I know there always appears this narrative that we're cautious or we're whatever, but yeah, if the measure is scoring goals, then we've been better than anybody else. So that's I just have to accept that as part and parcel of sitting in this seat, really.
Now Hernandez is joining. He slipped it through to him. He's through inside the area, 1-on-1, and great tackle by Alexander-Arnold to stop that from being a real issue.
Trent Alexander-Arnold, he did it some worldy passes during the game on Saturday, and I've seen him do that so often. He's such a joy to watch. But then, a couple of corners went out of play, and it wasn't quite the Trent Alexander-Arnold we see for Liverpool. Do you feel a responsibility to get him up to that level? And actually, is he happy with the England camp? Do you sense any frustration with him?
No, I think I've had a good chat with him, because I was also happy with passes that you're talking about, and we wanted to get him from that wing-back role into infield a little bit more. We wanted him to feel the freedom to move as he does with his club into the positions where he causes a problem. He's missed a lot of football with us for lots of different reasons. In the next few years especially, some of our older fullbacks are going to slowly disappear from the scene, and he's going to be even more important. So it's a hard one, because Kyle Walker was in the Euros Team of the Year. We've got Reece James, who we know is an outstanding right back as well, and Kieran Trippier has been crucial to our success as a team. So none of us are sitting here saying, why are we talking about Trent? We know the talent that is there.
Right hand side players to pick out. Gosens is one of them. 4-1 Germany.
It's been a smooth transition for them, because Hansi Flick was with the squad when they won the World Cup. He was working with most of these players who were at Bayern Munich, so you can see elements of what Bayern Munich were doing a couple of years ago in the way this team are playing already. And they've got that typical German mentality. They never have long periods in world football where they're not strong and where they're not pushing. So it's a brilliant test for us to come here. It's one of the hardest you can face, and we're really looking forward to it.
Well, there you go. That was Gareth Southgate with me yesterday after England training. Saturday, by the way, it's England-Italy at Molineux live on TalkSport, and ahead of that game we'll have a deeper, more detailed look at whether Southgate's pragmatism still works with this team. I thought he answered the questions in detail and very well, Dean Ashton.
Well, I thought you asked him the questions that I think certainly I wanted answering, which I think Trent is a big conundrum for Gareth, because of the way he plays for Liverpool is very unique. And it's whether he feels that he's got the players. I mean, Henderson is the big miss, I think, if Alexander-Arnold is to play, because of the way that he covers that right-hand side.
Can I just say there, you and I at lunchtime had a big discussion, and if we are going to play three at the back, which I think Gareth wants to but doesn't quite feel he can commit to it, but if we are, our discussion led to us concluding that James Ward-Prowse is the missing link in the England team that could make it all work, correct?
Well, I think that him and Henderson are similar in many ways, and I think both of them for their clubs have got that real intelligence to know when to drop into that right-hand side position to cover an attacking fullback. So it wouldn't... I mean, I think he'll go to the World Cup, James Ward-Prowse, because of what he can bring. But I think sometimes we just think set plays. But I think a bit like Henderson, underneath what he brings to the side, actually there's real technical ability there. And if Trent is going to play, he is going to need that bit of cover. And I think you're right. I think it was great the way you said, does he feel that responsibility to get that Liverpool Trent into the England side? But ultimately, Trent has also got to learn what Gareth wants. This is an England side. This isn't Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea, this is England, and when you come here, you have to fit into the way that Gareth wants, and I think that's very important. We understand that.
It's tifo time, and away to our right, the German fans at that end behind the goal are holding up their squares of paper, white, yellow, red and black for the German national colours. What are we expecting then tonight? Because he's gone to a 4 and it's 4-2-3-1, seemingly there's more attacking players on the pitch. Are we expecting it to be a more attacking display? Because as he said, we score a lot of goals, this England side.
We do. I think it will be, because of the players that are on the pitch, and especially those front four. They know they've got the cover of Rice and Phillips. I expect one of those two, probably Rice as well, to be the one that joins those four. But I think you only have to look across the other big nations in recent nights to see, France basically played a second string side, last night. But
you can really see with the team that he's picked, Gareth, how seriously he's taken this, how he really understands that there's got to be a response, because the other night was not good enough. It was really poor at times, and this is a huge game against a massive nation, and this is where we're going to be judged, and where he's going to be judged against the best. Every time we step out against the best is when he's going to be judged.
Yeah, I mean, he openly said, and he's reiterated, it's about experimenting, but it's Germany, and it is a competitive game. It is Nations League, and England fans won't say, okay, the experimenting's fine, we can take a defeat against Germany. We've got to at least be competitive against this lot.
Yes, and I think what's important is when you asked him those questions, he's willing to answer them. You know, when you talked about the substitution with Phillips coming on, he gave us an explanation that he felt that was a way of getting Jude Bellingham into the game more and higher up the pitch. And he's got he's strong enough, I think, as a character, Gareth Southgate, that no matter what the noises are, and he talked about the fact that he knew there was murmurings of being too negative and why they'd scored so many goals. But tonight is different. It is Germany. It always means that little bit more. And he knows he needs a response. You know, one game, any team can lose one game. But when you start two, and then you've got Italy, he's put a strong side out tonight. And I think there will be a real response from England.
And on Tammy Abraham, I know you in particular said you were talking about strikers with egos, and he will feel that. He will have felt he could have come on and got us back into the game, an equaliser and a winner. That's how strikers, they believe in themselves. And he hasn't really had a consistent chance with England, Tammy. Gareth said he's going to get game time. Well, he's not starting tonight, so he needs to get that game time either at Wolves in both games next week, live on TalkSport, or at some stage tonight.
I think it's vital that there are, of course, competitive games these against big nations, but he's got to know what's going to happen if, and God forbid if, Kane was to pick up an injury before the tournament. He's got to know how the team are going to gel with somebody different up there, and someone very, very different, by the way, to Harry Kane. I think that is really important. But again, you can see, feel this game is huge. He needs a response. I think Tammy will get an opportunity in the next two games. But I still, go back to what I said the other night, which was it's embarrassing for a centre-forward when they put on a holding midfielder instead of you when you need a goal. That would have hurt him, no doubt about it.
As the flags of both countries are spread out on the pitch, the Germany flag to our left, the England flag to the right, and Deutsche Fußball, the banner of German football, is over the centre circle. As Germany and England make their way out, looking around the crowd, there are England fans dotted around in the Germany sections. As expected, a Chelsea flag opposite us, a flag of newly promoted Maidstone. Over to our left, three fans in front of us, all in different colour England shirts, one with Foden on the back, another with Sancho on the back, and the third with Beckham on the back. They're in the stand here, which is reserved mainly, and I can see a Gerrard 4 England shirt just down to our right as well. So there are England fans all over this stadium. Let's just hope it passes without incident. So far, so good as we await the national anthems. It will be the German one second, the English one first. Here we go. Singing. I'm not too bothered about that. There were a lot of stories about Trent not singing it. If you're in the zone and don't want to sing, it is totally up to you as a player, in my opinion. Here's Deutschland Lied, the German anthem. all the Germans were singing either. It really doesn't matter. It really isn't that important. More Nations League action coming up. England face Italy behind closed doors at Molineux Saturday. It's live on TalkSport. England face Hungary, and again it's at Molineux a week tonight. That's also live on TalkSport. Both of them are Nations League games, and in this Nations League, Gareth Southgate insists he picks a team he thinks will win the game, but he's also using this campaign as his way of finding out about players and systems ahead of the World Cup. He's experimenting. They're friendlies with benefits, if you like, but this is a game against the Germans in Munich. You can't tell me the result tonight doesn't matter. So another 5-1 will do very nicely, please. It's Germany-England. It's live on TalkSport with the former England striker Dean Ashton alongside your commentator Jim Proudfoot.
Good evening and welcome to the Allianz Arena for the Three Lions' first return to Munich since one of the most famous nights of them all. And it was there, and it always will. The night where everything went right from the moment that Carsten Janker gave Germany an early lead onwards. 15 years later, England gave another heroic performance in Berlin, back from 2-0 down with half an hour to go to win 3-2. But both those nights show how easy it is to look at one result in isolation and not necessarily see the bigger picture. In 2001, Germany were destroyed by England, yet they reached the World Cup final the following year. The Three Lions win in 2016 was merely the precursor to Nice, and just about the darkest night in England's football history, and that was only 3 months later. The same is true now. The need to prove that Budapest was a one-off, a disappointing night that isn't a precursor for the rest of the year, but merely a bump in the road. England line up: Pickford in goal, Walker, Stones, Maguire and Trippier, Rice and Phillips, Sterling, Mount and Saka, and Kane. The bench: Alexander-Arnold, James, Cody and Gerrard, Bellingham, Ward-Prowse, Gallagher and Grealish, Bowen and Abraham, and the keepers Pope and Ramsdale. Germany: Neuer in goal, Klostermann, Rudiger, Schlotterbeck and Raum, Kimmich and Gundogan, Hoffmann, Muller and Musiala, and Kai Havertz up front. England in all blue, and Germany in their traditional white shirts and black shorts. The referee tonight is the Spaniard Carlos del Cerro Grande. On the blow of his whistle, both sets of players take the knee, united tonight in the fight against all forms of racial discrimination. Well, there are a few games to get the football fans salivating like Germany-England, whatever the circumstances. A fixture with a rich heritage of iconic moments from Wembley in 66 and 96, 2000 and 2021, to Turin and Charleroi, Munich and Bloemfontein. And tonight sees the 34th instalment of the rivalry. Eriksson, Capello and Hodgson have all won on German soil. Now can Gareth Southgate, as England aim to follow up their Wembley Euros triumph and get the memories of Budapest out of their system very quickly. We're underway. England kicking from right to left, and alongside me, the former England striker, Dean Ashton.
Thank you, Jim. Good evening, everyone. It doesn't get much bigger than this, does it? Away in Munich against Germany. It just feels like we might have turned the corner over the last year or two against the Germans. So much heartache. And Gareth's line-up, to me, is strong, and we'll see a response.
Early touch from Musiala, who's worked it out towards the German left-hand side. Movement inside the penalty area here from Havertz, who shot in towards the near post. Is comfortably saved by Jordan Pickford. Offside flag was up, actually, with the referee just allowing Pickford to continue with the ball in his hands. And they'll just wait for a little bit of movement upfield before bowling it out towards John Stones. Stones alongside his close friend Harry Maguire. It was good to hear the pair Stones talk about the combination between the two of them yesterday as the ball is worked for Trippier is put under immediate pressure. Nobody showing for him in midfield, and he said a misdirected ball back for Pickford with plenty of pace. He said no chance of keeping that in. It's a very sloppy corner conceded by England, an opportunity for Germany on their right flank.
Well, he was claiming a foul, Kieran Trippier, but actually it all stemmed because he's right-footed on the left-hand side. He immediately took it inside with his right foot, and they were onto him, pressurising him, forcing him into a mistake.
Joshua Kimmich with the corner in towards the near post, and flick from Rudiger, and then cleared away by Walker. just by the shadow of the post, as it looked as though Muller might be in there to supply the finishing touch to bundle it over the line. It was a really good touch from Rudiger with a flick header at the near post. And this has been a fractious start for England. A couple of early corners conceded. They haven't looked comfortable so far. They're going to get better than this. So this corner will be taken over on the far touchline, and again it's going to be Kimmich that will go out to take it. Havertz stands hands on hips, the right-hand side of the penalty area. Two centre-halves, Schlotterbeck and Rudiger, are near the penalty spot. Muller is in there as well. Four preparing to make runs from the edge of the penalty area. Musiala comes out of the 6-yard box as it's swung in, well headed away by Kane. And towards the far side of the penalty area, Saka trying to help it further clear. It'll be picked up again on the left-hand side. Ram's ball in, not the best, and it should be easy for Kane to take a touch. Just under pressure there from Havertz. He's trying to buy the free kick, but the assistant referee's flag stayed down. Eventually England with a throw down by the corner flag in their right-back position. And Kane then goes across to the Spanish referee and says that he should have had a free kick. Nothing doing. Throw to England, but Germany much the better side in the opening 3.5 minutes at 0-0 on TalkSport.
And very much a feature of Hansi Flick's Bayern side and now the German side, which is that counter-pressing. All going as one. Spotting the danger as Kane just plays it over the top.
And Sterling will chase it. Neuer's come outside his penalty area and he can just cushion a header very calmly to his right-hand side for Klosterman. But that's the pass that England will be looking for, trying to turn Raheem Sterling in behind the German back line. The other end, Stones shepherds it back for Pickford, whose first touch was slightly askew and very nearly went over the line for a corner. England can work it upfield. Mount right in front of us on the left-hand touchline plays it into the feet of Kane. Kane now towards Declan Rice, down by the corner flag, and he's driven it into Rudiger and out of play for an England throw.
And I think that's important as well, that Declan Rice, of course, he's got to play that role alongside Phillips. But as he does for West Ham, he's such a strong runner, powerful runner, Declan Rice. Go and do that for England as well. It was a brilliant run off the ball as Kane flicked it round the corner.
Throw which Kieran Trippier takes on the England left. A lovely turn by Mason Mount down by the byline. And he can guide it back for Trippier. Trippier opens up his right foot and lays it back for Rice. Rice's ball through the midfield is put under pressure by Musiala, who's chasing down Kyle Walker. Walker back for Stones, and Stones in turn back for Pickford, who will clear it left-footed, but overhit over the head of Trippier. Now to play for a throw that will be taken on the German right. 5 gone 0-0.
Look, it's not going to be easy. Germany, of course, are going to start fast as they have done, pressed England, especially Stones and Maguire. They haven't allowed them to have any time on the ball. But sometimes you've got to do this away from home. Just settle into the game, fight and win your battles.
And Phillips doing exactly that, getting the better of Thomas Muller, and then Kane can thread it through. Sterling, the angle's tight, trying to roll it back across the edge of the 6 for Mount. Rudiger is there, puts it behind for an England corner.
Absolutely fantastic from Harry Kane. The awareness of where Sterling had made his run, just flicked it, reversed it back into Sterling's path. Did really well to control the bouncing ball. Looked to fire it across with his left foot from the left-hand side of the penalty area. Good defending from the Germans, but that's what Sterling gives you. He just gives you such intelligent movement off the ball.
Well, it was well documented that the set-piece delivery from England the other night in Budapest was not great. What will they be able to muster from situations like this? Saka leaving it for Trippier in towards the near post, but done a little bit flatter than was hoped for, and Klosterman can head it away.
No, it was awful again. Didn't we talk about beating the first man? Why not put an attacker there? But again, it's disappointing when you must do a lot of work on it. I know they do.
Stones for Kane on the edge of the penalty area now. Kane making his way forward, and that stung the palms of Manuel Neuer, but he was able to gather at the second attempt. A couple of shots on target from both sides in 6.5 very entertaining goalless minutes so far on TalkSport. Ball's played back for Schlotterbeck, relatively inexperienced centre-half. They're playing alongside Rudiger, very left-footed, player who has just signed for Dortmund from Freiburg in a €25 million deal. Very much part of the German national setup for years to come, you would imagine. He's alongside Rudiger tonight. Rudiger switching over to the right of the two centre-halves to accommodate Schlotterbeck's arrival. Sterling, frustrated, hangs his head as he just trying to flick the ball back for Rice on the England left. And it goes out of play for a throw that will be taken on Germany's right-hand side, which is the near touchline as we look at it. And Klosterman will take it. 7 gone, 0-0 on TalkSport. And these are the thoughts of Dean Ashton.
But Jim, already, I mean, compared to Budapest, the sharpness of the players, the energy, the quality, it's been so much better already.
Schlotterbeck, shock of blonde hair, bringing it forward into the feet of Joshua Kimmich, who scored his first international goal for a few years the other day against Italy in the 1-1 draw between those two teams in Bologna. So Hungary top of the group at the moment as things stand. Remember, 4 teams, so 6 games. 4 of them played this month and a couple in September. You win, you go through to the Nations League Final 4. If you lose, you get relegated to League B. Ball played down the right-hand side for Germany, and Trippier's in there very strongly on Hoffman. Maguire then puts the ball out of play because upfield, Calvin Phillips has just picked up a bang and he's down inside the centre circle. Schlotterbeck leaning over him, looks concerned. Possibly a collision between the two of them. Phillips was on his knees for a moment, now rolls over onto his back, and the England medical staff are just told by the referee, you're all right, you don't need to come on. Carlos del Cerro Grande acting as referee and medic tonight, seemingly. Phillips is okay, he's back on his feet.
Clash knees, and it's really, really uncomfortable, but he's gone down again, Phillips. He's not happy.
Well, he got back to his feet, he made 3 or 4 strides and then crumples down again. And now the referee will allow the England medical staff the opportunity to come on the field and attend to him. So while this medical treatment is being given, we can find out what's been going on in the early stages of the England under-21 game tonight in Chesterfield. Here's Ian Abrahams.
And we've played 9 minutes, England 0, Albania 0. England needs to win, of course, to qualify tonight. Needs 3 points from 3 games. Gone close twice. Anthony Gordon has stung the hands of the goalkeeper, and Angel Gomez has seen a shot come off the outside of the post. England 0, Albania 0.
Moose, thank you. Jude Bellingham sent out to warm up. James Ward-Prowse as well away to our right-hand side. Both of those warming up as Calvin Phillips is attended to, and he gets back to his feet now and then almost crumpled back to the floor again as he took his first step. It was just a little shake of the head, but no immediate decision that he's going to be unable to continue. Hopefully he will be able to run it off. Remember, 2 more England internationals coming up for you over the next week, both at Molineux. The first of them against Italy. That's coming up for you on Saturday, a behind closed doors game at Molineux. It's live on TalkSport, kicking off at 7:45, and then the return game against Hungary next Tuesday night, also live on TalkSport, kicking off at 7:45. Elsewhere tonight in the Nations League, a few other games taking place. Turkey leading Lithuania by a goal to 0, but it's 0-0 everywhere else, including the other game in this group between Italy and Hungary. Phillips still being attended to now off the field on the edge of the England technical area. So England resuming with 10 men here as Pickford booms it forward. Kane looking to flick it on, did well leaning back into Rudiger to steer it into space, but Saka couldn't get there first. An opportunity for Musiala to bring it forward, and he's done well to play it down through the midfield to his right-hand side for Hoffman. Kimmich now. As Phillips just waiting for permission to come back onto the field. Played forward towards Maguire. Maguire just loses out, comes back out to Havertz, and now Phillips is able to come on. Ram's got it though. He's just played it down the left-hand side of the penalty area for Musiala. Right-footed effort from him. Only made 3 or 4 yards inside the box before it was cleared by Mason Mount. Taken out towards the touchline. Sliding challenge comes in from Schlotterbeck. He's done really well to win that back. And Germany can bring it forward again here with Ilkay Gundogan. 11 gone, 0-0. Layoff from Muller. England guide it back for Pickford from Kyle Walker and get it to safety.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Calvin Phillips is a passenger. He's come on, they've strapped his thigh up, but I'd be amazed if he carries on. I think they'll be making the change very quickly, and that's a vital area as well.
Yeah, he can't move.
No, against Gundogan and Kimmich and Musiala and Muller just dropping into those spaces.
Yeah, he's a passenger at the moment, Calvin Phillips. I mean, he's staying out there, but he can't even trot, let alone jog. And he's just looking around, and he's saying to the England staff, I'm unable to continue, and he's trying gamely. But the next break in play, I'm sure England will be going to be making a change. It's Bellingham that is being called over, and a 14th cap is imminent for him. It'll be a special occasion for him, playing away to Germany against plenty of players of whom he's got much experience. Ball's gone out of play for a throw. The ball has actually been put in the net, but doesn't count. Now the whistle had gone from the referee, went out of play for a throw. Germany, knowing England were going to make a change, tried to take the throw quickly before the referee blew his whistle. England had stopped. The ball was lobbed over the goalkeeper into the net. The Carlos del Cerro Grande is saying it was obvious what was happening. Calvin Phillips was down. He was in need of treatment. I've blown the whistle. The goal doesn't count.
No, and the important thing was that he blew the whistle before Muller had even put it into the net. So I don't know why there's the whistles. It was pretty obvious that England had totally stopped. They're now asking for the referee's asking for a stretcher for Calvin Phillips. But I think it's such a vital part of the pitch as well. You can tell already that Hansi Flick has looked at the way England played against Hungary and saw that if they got players in that midfield area to either side of the two midfielders that they could cause problems. Musiala and Muller are playing like inverted wingers to try and cause those two midfield players problems. So if he can't continue, which he can't, then Bellingham will come on, and a bit like the other night, it'll be a real test for him with Musiala and Muller just dropping into those positions.
So the 18-year-old coming on, so much experience for one his age. 90 games he's played for Dortmund, and still a few weeks short of his 19th birthday. He comes on for his 14th international appearance, and when you throw in 40-odd games for Birmingham as well, he's got 150 senior games for club and country behind him by the time he turns 19. And wearing 19, he comes on now. He'll certainly feel at home here, a ground where he's played many occasions, and a few of the local Bavarians just giving him short shrift as the plays his club football up country with Dortmund comes onto the field. A disappointing crossfield ball sails over the head of Hoffman and out of play for a throw, but it is Bellingham and not. James Ward-Prowse has been given the nod to come on. It was interesting to hear this morning on TalkSport Breakfast there, Walcott saying that he thinks that James Ward-Prowse is going to have a part to play in the England World Cup squad this winter. Someone who knows him so well, of course, from his time together at St Mary's. So that was on TalkSport Breakfast this morning. Tomorrow morning, Gabi Agbolahor, who played and started in England's 2-1 win over Germany back in 2008, joins Laura and Ali McCoy. So that's on TalkSport Breakfast tomorrow morning between 6 and 10. Plenty of reaction to what happens here in Munich tonight. As Walker heads a long diagonal from the German right-hand side back to his goalkeeper. Pickford able to pick it up. 15 minutes gone, although we've seen a stop-start opening quarter of an hour because of that injury for Calvin Phillips and a couple of bits of treatment that he's received. Now Walker can play it forward too. Phillips' replacement Bellingham. And back for Walker again.
Yeah, I thought England were just getting a foothold in the game as well before the injury. So can they get back to that sharpness? Raheem Sterling's looked great since the start of the game.
Gundogan in the midfield. He's immediately under pressure from Bellingham. Schlotterbeck lays it back out for Ilkay Gundogan, whose goal, 99th goal for Manchester City's league campaign, won them the title. Musiala brings it forward. Heavy touch though, made it easy for Stones to knock it away. Rice turned into trouble, and his back pass left a bit to be desired. Pickford read it, saw what was coming, and was able to side-foot it out. He missed Trippier, and it goes out of play for a Germany throw, but it could have been worse than that. Then the ball is driven in from Hoffman, and Pickford at the near post just got something on it to stop Musiala being able to bundle it over the line.
Well, that's twice he's had to be alert. Jordan Pickford, Declan Rice playing that ball without looking. That's a big risk. Luckily his goalkeeper was alive to it. And then a quick throw in again. England just switch off slightly, allowing that cross to come in, and Musiala sliding in front of Pickford meant he had to keep his eyes on the ball, and as he does in his own unique style, gets down as if he's collecting a cricket ball on the boundary, just pats it in front of him and takes it in.
Here's Walker. So far Kieran Trippier on the left hand side has played a much more advanced role than Kyle Walker. I mean, you'd say, looking at it right now, England have almost dropped into a back three again. Walker with a high right-footed ball over the top. Trippier can control it and then flick it round the corner for Sterling. It's a lovely touch, but Trippier's run had gone just a little bit early, and he's drawn an offside flag. That's a free kick that Germany will take just outside their own penalty area. What have you made of this defensive formation then? Because Trippier's given the licence to push forward, Walker staying at home a little bit more, Saka drifting out of the right almost, playing at right back. Now when Germany got possession, it's very much a 4 again. So,
yeah,
but
I
interchanging.
That's pretty normal, to be honest. With most back fours, you would tend to have one full back that goes, one that stays. Just so happens that it's Trippier more so than Kyle Walker at the moment. Actually, England have barely been down England's right hand side with Saka. We barely mentioned him as well.
Rice tried to attack from the front, did very well to put the pressure on and almost force an error. Germany played out, and then he came back, covered a lot of ground, and a sliding challenge puts the ball out of play before Klosterman could make too much ground up the right-hand touchline. Throw to Germany, they've taken it quickly, England have won it back. Kane flicking it on, looking for Mount. It's headed clear, but only back for Kane. Kane then digging it over the top, looking for Sterling's run, but he's well marshalled and round the Offenheim left back and shepherd it back to his goalkeeper, and then he will turn and Neuer will bowl it out to him. Gundogan's got it now. Gundogan exchanging passes with Schlotterbeck. And back out to Ilkay Gundogan again, bringing it over the halfway line. With TalkSport, Jim Prafford and Dean Ashton talking through the action from here in the Allianz Arena in Munich, where we're 18 minutes in. And it's still 0-0. Pickford flipping the ball outside the penalty area, finding Stones. Stones forward towards Bellingham. And Bellingham going out towards Kyle Walker on the right. Stones again, about 15 yards outside his own penalty area, just waiting for a few options to present themselves. He's chipped it down towards Kieran Trippier. Trippier, who's actually started more games at left back than right back over the last 17 internationals that he's played for England now. Left back position, still a bit of an awkward fit at times in this England side. No Shaw or Chilwell in this squad, of course. Here's Kane bringing it down the left-hand touchline. Klosterman stopped him, but it is an England throw. Level the edge of the penalty area. Taken quickly by Trippier. Kane heading it back towards Sterling, but Germany survive, and Kimmich and Hoffman between them. And then Klosterman get it away. Rice takes a touch. Flicking through the legs of Hoffman ahead of him. Just took a touch off his ankle and goes out of play for another throw that Kieran Trippier will take for England.
Declan Rice has been outstanding so far in this game. He's really showing that physically and athletically he is better than the German midfield, and he's just overpowering them at the moment in the middle of the pitch. And Bellingham settled in nicely. He talked about his age. Ball came into him from Stones, took it on the back foot, played a lovely pass out to Mason Mount.
Well, Rice is also showing physically and athletically that he's better than he showed in Budapest as well. It's been a very different type of performance from it, and the conditions are different. They've had that game to get it out of the system, first one back, a little bit of ring rustiness, and the temperature and the conditions here are much more favourable for both sets of players. But it's been a better performance for England and us as well.
Yeah. No, it's perfect for England, this temperature, but also I thought Hungary was excellent. It's easy just to forget how good they were, but they look a lot sharper, England. And
so far so good as far as England are concerned. A nervy opening 5 minutes. They've been better since then. Mount will put the pressure on Rudiger, but he can guide it back for Neuer. Neuer will drive it left-footed outside the penalty area. High ball through the centre circle. Maguire in very strongly, too strongly for the referees liking. And it's going to be a free kick which will be taken for the foul inside the centre circle on Kai Havertz. Harry Maguire, incidentally, the one player in this England starting lineup today who's a yellow card away from a suspension. 2 yellow cards see you get a one-game ban within the Nations League. And so Maguire and substitute Reece James are the 2 players affected. Germany have Kai Havertz in the same boat, and a couple of their subs as well. Schlotterbeck playing it forward, but he's given it straight to Bellingham. Bellingham then playing it forward and couldn't give it straight to Kane. And the promising position that just for a moment looked as though it's going to open up for England very quickly fizzles out. 0-0.
Both teams are very similar, to be honest. They both look a real danger when they win the ball back and look to move it quickly. I think both teams have looked pretty slow in possession when they're given the time, but then when they win it back and spring on each other, they've looked a real danger.
Oh, Maguire trying to wrestle Havertz to the ground. The referee's played the advantage. There's a big chance for Hoffman has been taken. Germany lead by a goal to nil, but the flag is up. And England are saved. Well, Maguire wasn't happy. He didn't think it was a foul. He was judged to have wrestled Havertz to the ground. The referee played the advantage, and it was played forward then to Hoffman, who's made the run in from the right-hand side. He's in an offside position. The VAR is checking it, but we expect it to stay 0-0.
We do, but because it's come from such a long way out, and actually I'm not sure whether Havertz has even touched it. I personally thought it was a foul on Harry Maguire by Kai Havertz. He didn't have his eye on the ball, he was wrestling Maguire.
Well, it is offside, we understand. The inspection is still continuing, but those that have seen the angle suggest that it's offside, or at least he's run from an offside position. What they're now having a look at, I think, is whether there was a touch to flick it through, because if Havertz hasn't touched it on the way through, then he could be offside. Seemingly is offside from the original pass that is played forward, but we're not seeing a replay in the stadium here. All we know is officially that they are checking the offside leading up to the goal. It must be close because they're still not sure. The referee's got his right hand to his ear and he's getting the communication from the VAR, Juan Martinez Munuera. And still they're having a look. So it can't be cut and dried. I don't know whether it's because the lines are being drawn. The original decision upheld. 0-0. It remains. There's no touch from Havertz, so when the ball was played forward, the original pass was played forward, then he was offside, Hoffman. England restart from the free kick. Trippier helping it on. Schlotterbeck's going to be able to knock it away. Chested down very ably there by Kai Havertz, but Rice has won it back. Rice finds Stones, and Stones turns it back for Jordan Pickford, who takes a touch to his left and then very hastily gets it clear. Didn't get the distance on it that he wanted, but Rice can win the second ball from Thomas Muller, and Bellingham then turns it back to goalkeeper Jordan Pickford, and Pickford will play out from the back again to find Kyle Walker. He played 25 minutes in the first half, entertaining stuff here in Munich, but 0-0 it remains. The ball played out to the England right-hand side, where he was twisting and turning and trying to make something happen, and he's won a throw. The England number 7 over on that far touchline, and he just leaves it for Kyle Walker to take.
Yeah, because of, like you talked about, because we have that lopsided look to the defence, and when Trippier goes really high, we're outnumbering the German back four, so that ball over the top wide has worked well for England.
Trippier down to the left-hand side of the penalty area. Sterling dropping his shoulder, trying to take on Klosterman, who stayed with him stride by stride, but there is another corner which will be taken on the England left-hand side. Times the corner count up at 2 apiece.
Don't mind that at all from Raheem Sterling. Just push and run, test out Klosterman. Just so happens that he's almost twice the size of him and just put a big arm across his chest.
So Trippier and Saka across to take this corner. It looks as though it's going to be Trippier. Saka then just runs away. Trippier with much more elevation on it this time. Better ball in and fired over the bar by Kane. It was a big chance. Neuer felt that he was fouled as the original ball came in. He was put under all kinds of pressure, but the loose ball dropped for Kane, leaning back on the edge of the 6-yard box. He's put it over the bar.
Oh, it's a horrible miss from Harry Kane. It's not that difficult, really, for a man of his talents. I think it would have been a free kick if they'd have looked at it. If Harry Kane would have put that in the back of the net, I'm pretty sure it would have been a foul on Neuer. He looked like he was just had that easily in his arms.
Rice is able to pick it up, though, and Saka will chip it forward. Schlotterbeck beating Kane in the air. Musiala back to his left back round. Schlotterbeck then, he's put under pressure. Sterling's done brilliantly to make a run towards the far post, but Kane couldn't find him. He will be able to pick it up down by the left-hand touchline. It was excellent play in there from Jude Bellingham amidst all of that to win possession back. Phillips, the player that Bellingham replaced in the early stages. Bellingham has it again now, flicking it on. Rice loses it out, and Germany will be able to bring it forward quickly with Musiala. Out from him to Round, down the left-hand touchline. Musiala making an excellent run right through the middle. Rice couldn't get it away. Musiala tries his luck, drives it into Maguire. The appeals for a handball only came from the German fans. Muller now trying to tease it in. Little flick header. Havertz getting something on it. Might have been his shoulder in the end. But Pickford's able to catch it and make a comfortable save. 0-0.
Yeah, Musiala's an issue for England because he's playing in that half position. He's not playing wide, but he's not playing as a midfield player. He's giving our midfield two a real issue. John Stones doesn't know whether to come out of his position to pick him up. A couple of times he's just been able to receive it on the back foot, turn and be at England's back four, and a couple of shots that have been blocked well by England.
Pickford kicks another one straight out of play. And Germany will have a throw. 20 yards inside the England half, over on the far touchline. You're with Talk Sport. It remains 0-0 and still 0-0 as well. England under 21s in action tonight at home to Albania. Walker, forward for Kane. And Kane can drive, and he's 4 against 3 just for a moment here. Mount with a little step over. Saka making the run in behind him, twisting and turning and guiding it back. And then a right-footed effort comes in from Bellingham, which was deflected on the edge of the area by Kimmich. And spins out of play for a throw. That was an excellent counter-attack. England didn't really make the most of it, but all of a sudden, 4 against 3, Germany backpedaling very quickly.
Yeah, they did. It was just Mason Mount made the wrong run. He was the furthest of the forward players, and he actually ran across Saka in the end, which didn't help matters. Still tried to make something of it with Bellingham's strike that struck off a German defender, but that's where we're dangerous.
Sterling. Just asked too much of Trippier, who applauds the intent of the pass, but it rolled over the line. Now to play for a goal kick that Neuer has taken very quickly. Well, very entertaining stuff here. 29 minutes gone. A much better England performance tonight than that we saw in Budapest at the weekend. There have been plenty of positives, but still no advantage, and Germany have had the better chances. Rudiger getting the back for Neuer. Neuer out towards Schlotterbeck. Schlotterbeck controlling it on the left-hand side of the box. They do look susceptible to an intense press from England. On that occasion, though, Schlotterbeck survived the press, guided it back for Neuer, who chipped it out towards Round. And then Germany could make good headway deep into England territory before a crossfield ball. Trippier headed it away, and then there was a collision between an off-balance Trippier leaning backwards, oblivious to the fact that Hoffman was coming in behind him, and the two have ended up both on the deck. I think Hoffman got caught on the back of the knee by a falling Trippier, and both players are in some discomfort.
Yeah, it was actually brilliant defending from Kieran Trippier. He was overloaded on that side. Hoffman was free. He recognised it nice and early, got across, got up well, got a glancing header out of play, but as he landed, I think his arm and shoulder landed right on the ankle of Hoffman, who might have just turned his ankle, and Trippier in turn has hurt his shoulder.
Another game in this group has seen Italy take the lead at home to Hungary, and Nicolo Barella with that goal. So Italy top at the moment as this group stands. It's Italy 4, Hungary 3, Germany 2 and England 1. This one is 0-0. Italy leading by a goal to 0. Let's go back to Derbyshire, where England's under-21s are in action in front of TalkSport's Ian Abrahams.
Half an hour gone, England 0, Albania 0. Remember, 3 points for England to qualify for next summer's finals. Angel Gomez with a shot against the post. Anthony Gordon's looked good as well. Albania could have scored, but there was an error by Bursic from a clearance, but they didn't, and it's England 0, Albania 0.
Well, coming up later tonight, after we finish here in Munich at 10 o'clock your time, Andy Goldstein will be alongside the former Crystal Palace midfielder Darren Ambrose to take your calls on game day. Your verdict, 03717 223344. Your reaction to England's performance. What's been better tonight or worse than what we saw and heard in Budapest on Saturday? Andy and Darren taking your calls tonight on TalkSport. Game day, your verdict coming your way at 10 o'clock. Trippier's back on his feet, so too Hoffman, both able to continue. England have possession with Mount in the midfield. Mount into the feet of Jude Bellingham, who's looked much more at home tonight than he did in Hungary. 4 from Trippier. Sterling able to turn, find Kane. Kane trying to work the ball from left foot to right very quickly. England have lost possession again. Rudiger's got it. And now Sterling is down injured. And this is another way, the ball put out of play by Hoffman so that Sterling can receive whatever treatment is necessary.
Oh, and he's just grabbing that hamstring, Raheem Sterling. Let's hope not.
That doesn't look good. He's first his hamstring and then his right thigh. Now he's sitting up and explaining to both Harry Kane and the referee exactly what has happened. And Rudiger listening in as well. He does get back to his feet. Jarrod Bowen, potentially the natural replacement for him. He is out warming up. So too Jack Grealish away to our right hand side. And indeed Reece James is being put through his motions down there. But Sterling is just ambling down towards the touchline, looking distinctly uneasy. Is this a byproduct from the workload that the players are having? So many games in a relatively short period of time late in the season?
I mean, that'll be obviously questioned. Personally don't think it is, but it might just be a whack for Raheem Sterling on the thigh. But he is a tough boy, Sterling. He doesn't miss many games at all.
Winning 75th cap for England today. Scored in his last international against the Ivorians. And scored against Germany in the Euros. One of 19 international goals to his name. Harry Kane got the other one in that famous 2-0 win. Kane on 49. And Germany away will be a great fixture for him to bring up the half-century. And be the quickest England international ever to 50, breaking Wayne Rooney's record by almost exactly a year. Pickford getting the ball clear from inside his own penalty area. Well chested down by Saka, playing the way that he's facing back towards his own goal. Bellingham can pick it up and looks up, surveys his options, plays it back behind Trippier in the end. Trippier runs onto it on his favoured right foot and goes back for Pickford. Pickford to Stones. Stones back for Pickford again. He's trying to invite the press. Pickford clatters it upfield. Going up forward is Kane, who got enough on it to allow Saka to win the second ball to his right. Walker to Bellingham. Bellingham back for John Stones. Stones is 15 yards outside his own penalty area as he controls it and plays into the feet of Bellingham and straight back again. And Stones once more will turn and lay back for Jordan Pickford, who takes a touch inside the penalty area. England suffering their first defeat in 23 games at the weekend. Germany coming into this unbeaten in 10 since Hansi Flick took over. Their last defeat was that one at Wembley, which ended up being Joachim Löw's swan song at the end of such a long international managerial career. Ilkay Gundogan's got the ball in the midfield. Manchester City man going out to the left-hand side for Round. Round clipping it in, left-footed, good run from Hoffman from the right flank to inside left. He's chipped it behind the goal though as he tried to wrap his left foot around it. Ran out of room, and it's a goal kick which will be taken by Jordan Pickford and England. 10 minutes to go to half-time on TalkSport. The first half that's going to be quite extensively elongated. Sterling is still out there, battling on, but it's still 0-0.
Yeah, it's making it interesting because they're matched up tactically, the two sides. I think the one thing that is lacking is that final bit of quality. Both teams have got in good areas, but they're not been fluid enough to make a real opening. And the stoppages, it's amazing, isn't it? Even at the elite level, the stoppages just seem to disrupt the game and any flow whatsoever for either side.
The Germany fans around us getting to their feet. 0-0 still. Possession marginally in Germany's favour. Not very much in it, but they've had twice as many attempts as England have had. And 3 times as many on target, 3-1. Muller tried to turn, can't get there. Stones knocks it away on the edge of his box. Kimmich nodding it down in the midfield to find Gundogan. Gundogan can turn and play to his left for Musiala, who had a very lively start. Round gets to the byline, left-footed ball clipped in. Havertz attacking it, heads it wide. Last touch off Trippier into Germany corner.
Yeah, just switched off Kyle Walker at the back post. Just allow Raum to just run the other side of him and then clip that cross up for Havertz, who probably thought, here we go, I'm just going to climb all over Trippier and head this in at the back post. But Trippier, nice and strong, got up early, just got enough on it.
Another German corner, their third. It's going to be Joshua Kimmich. And the Bayern contingent to take it. Be a right-footed away swinger from the right flank. Very deep for Schlotterbeck, who's nodded it down. But 2 England touches get it away and into German territory very quickly. Walker with the second of them. Able just to hammer it upfield. So it's been a competition that England, you remember, got to the actual finals of in its first participation back in 2019. And on the back foot here again, Ram clips it inside the penalty area, kept alive at the far post, then awkwardly off the knee of Stones. Pickford comes out, punches it clear out towards the left-hand touchline, and it goes out of play for a German throw, but the offside flag then comes up. That's going to be a free kick, got to be taken by England. And just going back to their Nations League record, it's not great. Gareth Southgate's only had 11 defeats as England manager, and nearly half of them, 5, have come in this competition, where England have lost as many games as they've won. And Harry Kane's goal-scoring record is well documented, 49 in 70, but in this, 1 goal in 13 Nations League games, which is completely out of context with his record in any other competition, in friendlies, in qualifiers, in tournament play. His goals to game ratio is fantastic, but just 1 in 13 in the Nations League.
It's pretty staggering, to be honest. I think that's the difficulties, though, of the Nations League, is taking over from the friendlies. But it's strange, isn't it, to have such a record in this competition compared to everything else, Harry Kane. But he's looked sharp this evening, Kane. His touches, his awareness have been right up there.
Germany bringing it forward again with Musiala, who's drifted out of the right-hand side of the attack this time. Rice had followed his every move. Hoffman had the ball in the net, wanted to see it disallowed for offside. Plays it back for Schlotterbeck, now to Ilkay Gundogan. With Talk Sport, where it's 0-0 in Bavaria tonight on a dry evening at the end of a wet day. Schlotterbeck has it again. Square to his right for Gundogan. Gundogan into the feet of Musiala. It's a lovely turn from him inside the penalty area. Mount did well to stick out a foot, make sure that he didn't catch his man. He could drag it into space for his close friend Declan Rice. England clear, but it goes out of play for a German throw, which will be taken over on the far touchline. Played forward again by Germany to Schlotterbeck, to Raum, and then into the feet of the retreating Kai Havertz. Rudiger takes over. Another week in which he's left Chelsea to go to Real Madrid. Schlotterbeck again. Certainly doesn't look out of place. We consider it's only his 3rd international appearance and the biggest game of his international career to date. And he's breezed through it at the moment. Rice chesting it down. Trippier poking out a left-footed guarded back for Pickford. Had to stretch to get it away, and in doing so didn't get any height on the clearance, and Sterling couldn't control it as it fizzed through the midfield and goes out of play for a Germany throw. It's just a little bit stop-start again. England have had some nice moments and some cohesive attacks, but we haven't seen any in the last 7-8 minutes or so.
No, we haven't seen enough still of Mason Mount, and Bukayo Saka has basically been a passenger. He's not really got himself involved. Harry Kane and Sterling have looked sharp, but still need more from our forward line. Gareth talked about it in his interviews about the lack of goals other than Kane and Sterling, and sometimes you've got to grow into the shirt and take it on yourself and start delivering, because Mount can, he's shown that for Chelsea. Got to do it in an English shirt, the same for Saka.
Another game in this group remains. Italy 1, Hungary 0, and England's under-21s are still 0-0 at home to Albania. This one 0-0 as well, with Sterling losing out. It's sandwiched between Klosterman and Hoffman. Hoffman then chips it through the midfield, and Musiala has looked a very composed player. Ball chipped over the top by Gundogan. Chasing after it is Raum, he's pulled it back. Havertz can take a touch, actually turned into a position to make the angle tighter. Trying to lay it back for Muller, and the chance had very quickly gone. He's won it back though, but only by hauling Walker to the ground. Crowd don't like the decision, but it is a free kick to England, deep inside their own penalty area. 0-0.
And what was really interesting about that defending from John Stones was you would expect as the ball came into Havertz that he would be right up against him, and he didn't. He just stepped away a yard, and Havertz almost didn't know what to do then, and as he turned, he then put a bit of pressure on, meant he played the ball quickly to Muller, and then they miscontrolled. I thought that was a really interesting way for John Stones to defend that situation, and it worked.
Thomas Muller, the most experienced player on the field tonight, with 114th international cap, and that after two and a half years completely out of the picture in the late days under Joachim Löw. England work it forward, Kane chasing, and Rudiger's defended it very well. Shepherds it over the line, and a play for a goal kick. Neuer is almost adopting his own multi-ball system tonight. He's got one just behind the dead ball line, ready whenever the ball goes out of play. He'll pick it up so that he can restart play as quickly as possible. It's something that
he's had a word with the ball boy or girl that's behind there. There's a couple of them just waiting. I think the minute the ball goes out, they just quickly throw him the ball ready to start again. Such an interesting goalkeeper to watch, isn't he, Neuer? So involved all the time.
Has lost his last 2 games against England. He, like Thomas Muller, was in the side that beat England in Bloemfontein in the 2010 World Cup. Muller scored a couple of goals that day. Lampard scored one as well, but only the officials didn't think so. Rudiger able to play down towards Ilkay Gundogan. It was Matty Upson that scored the England goal that day in South Africa. It was one of the more dismal days of England's recent past. Muller has done well. Turned it forward down the left-hand side, makes a run for the return ball from Raum. Muller again battling hard, along with Musiala, to try and get the better of Declan Rice, who's just given Muller a little shove. And it's a free kick that Germany will be able to take about 25 yards outside the penalty area. A minute of the first half to go, and a few of the Germany fans decide that now's the time to head for the concession stands and the conveniences. There's going to be a lot of time to be added on at the end of this first half. Gundogan standing over this free kick, still 0-0. Free kick's really central, and as I mentioned, 20 yards outside the box. England defending with the exception of Raheem Sterling, who's where a wall would be. Everybody else pretty much is contained just around the edge of the D. Kimmich bends it in, right-footed. Schlotterbeck going up for it. Good header across the face of the 6-yard box. Kane cleared it. Musiala then with a volley. And Pickford takes a step to his left-hand side and catches it. And makes a comfortable save.
That's a couple of times now, and the ball's been played over to that left-hand side. The England players have been beaten in the air. Dangerous ball across. Kane did well, and then when it got recycled back to Musiala, just on the edge of the box, he fired straight at Pickford, who gathered it easily. But you're right, what you said earlier, Musiala's been absolutely brilliant. Been such a threat from that position.
Just the 8 added minutes at the end of this first half. I was expecting 4 or 5, I wasn't expecting 8. Good to see. Now Mount can bring it forward for England. Germany thought they should have had a free kick. He's worked it to his right. Saka, good save. Neuer threw up a right hand and tipped it over the bar. Kane was in there waiting, so too Sterling. Now the inquest starts amongst the Germany players who surround the referee and say that Mason Mount had won the ball back by fouling his man in the midfield, but play was allowed to continue and England get a corner out.
No, and that's again another difference to Budapest. Just that pressure that they've put on Germany in that midfield area in the centre-backs. It was brilliant from Mason Mount. Right decision to play in Saka, who actually, instead of checking onto his left, went into his right. Neuer was down really low, and you're right, just a hand up, firm hand to swat it away.
England's 21s have taken the lead. We'll get news in a moment. In comes the corner from Trippier, headed towards goal. Well, at least that was the intention from Maguire, but he didn't get anything like the contact that he needed. And he goes out of play for a Germany throw. Who scored for England then? Ian Abrahams.
Flo Balogun scored for England right on half-time. Emile Smith-Rowe robbed an Albanian defender in the box, squared it for his Arsenal teammate, who put it in the back of the England lead 1-0.
And Italy, in the other game in this group in the Nations League, lead Hungary 2-0 now at half-time. Pellegrini with almost the last touch of that first half, doubling their lead. 2-0 there, 0-0 here. Bellingham brought down in the midfield, and England have another free kick and a chance to get it forward. Well, they've looked sharp in the last 4 or 5 minutes or so, Dean Ashton.
Yeah, they have done. 2 18-year-olds battling such a big, high-profile game. Bellingham this time with the upper hand.
Yeah, special night for Jamal Musiala as well. Gareth Southgate, at the press conference yesterday, spoke in really glowing terms about him. A player that came through the England system and played for England's under-21s, actually made his England under-21 debut and his Germany full international debut in the same season. In comes this free kick from Saka, sent in deep. Stones is galloping after it, but he takes a bounce on the edge of the penalty area and round hooks it away. Bellingham then fields it, lays it back away from Walker, and Trippier's got to retrace his steps. He's been really good since coming on Bellingham, and that's maybe his loosest touch. Walker guides a long ball forward out towards the England right-hand side. Round trying to shepherd it away down by the corner flag, forced to play it, and it goes out for a throw that England will take in a decent advanced area over on the right-hand side. We're in 8 minutes of stoppage time. We played 3 of them, and it's still Germany 0, England 0. Elsewhere in the Nations League, Italy 2, Hungary 0, Bosnia 0, Romania 0, 0-0 between the Faroes and Luxembourg, and Turkey 2 up in Lithuania. If you're watching the other scores tonight, and England under-21s lead 1-0, as we heard from Ian Abrahams at half-time at Chesterfield. Bellingham's got the ball for England here in Munich, and he's laid it back for Declan Rice. Rice finds Trippier, and Raheem Sterling comes in off the left-hand touchline and is put under immediate pressure from Klosterman. Sterling can turn and play towards the edge of the area. Right-footed, he just feigned to shoot and then try to drag it past Rudiger, who read it. Saka's got it now. Oh, stinging effort. England's best of the game's gone wide, but not by much. And Neuer thought he was beaten. He was at full stretch. Couldn't reach it, but it went just a foot or so wide.
But again, Raheem Sterling has just got something different for this England side. He just gets it, and all of a sudden a 3 or 4 yard burst of pace. He was away from Gundogan. He'd actually done Rudiger with a fake shot, but didn't quite drag it away from him. Rudiger was totally committed, and then when it came to Saka on that left foot, you're right, it's a brilliant curling effort.
Klosterman chipping the ball forward here, and Kai Havertz has peeled away to the right-hand side of the area. He's running at Stones, a little step over, fires across into the near post, and Pickford can gather him. Bukayo Saka had a really good season for Arsenal, but scored in each of his last 3 England starts as well. Not too many players in their England career have ever scored in 4 successive starts. To do it before your 21st birthday would be some achievement. Now he's not too far away from having done that just a few moments ago. 0-0 it remains in the 5th minute of stoppage time at the end of the first half here at the Allianz Arena, with Kane playing it down for Trippier. Declan Rice has got it now for England. He's in German territory, and he goes square for Walker. Walker out towards Saka. Saka will come infield, draw a challenge and then a second. Plays it back for Rice to Maguire, who's inside his own half. Maguire square for John Stones. Stones out towards Walker. Walker driving it forward. Saka will make a run, and Schlotterbeck went with him shoulder to shoulder. Ball goes out of play for a goal kick. Saka thought he was fouled. It was an optimistic claim, and I think most in the ground would agree that a goal kick is the right verdict. It's 0-0.
Yeah, got to be stronger. Too easy just to look and ask for a free kick. Just get your body in there, be stronger, hold it up, don't worry about a free kick there. You're in a great position. It was brilliant movement from Saka. Just feinted as if he wanted the ball short, and then spun in behind Kyle Walker, just flicking it over the top. He's come into the game actually more, Saka, in the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Remember Andy Goldstein alongside Darren Ambrose tonight. 03717 223344 on the Sports Bar tonight here on Talk Sport. We're taking your calls and reacting to England's performance in Germany, which has been a significant step up from what we saw in Hungary 72 hours ago. Ball's out for another England throw over on that far touchline. Kyle Walker will take it. One of the downsides has been the injury to Calvin Phillips, and the camera on the big screen has just panned to him. He had a right smile on his face, sitting on the England bench away to our right-hand side, but a frustrating night for him. He lasted barely 15 minutes, and nearly half of that he was down receiving treatment. Here's Ilkay Gundogan. Thigh problem. It is for Phillips. Gundogan to Klosterman. Klosterman back inside his own half for Rudiger, who's much the most experienced of the back four for Germany tonight. 3 times as many international caps as the other three put together. Kimmich drops deep. Kimmich, who's won even more, is in the mid-60s now for his country. Back to Rudiger. Tony Rudiger through the midfield to Schlotterbeck. Schlotterbeck out to the left flank for Raum. Back for Ilkay Gundogan. Put under immediate pressure from Bellingham. Gundogan can find his man as he drives it out towards Hoffman. Hoffman had the ball in the net, but saw the goal disallowed for an offside. He's now made a good run round the back of Trippier, but Trippier sliding in could get it away. Good defending from the Newcastle man. And out it goes for a throw. Southgate in his suit just takes a step forward towards the edge of the technical area and applauds Trippier's defensive contribution there. 0-0 with the 8 minutes of stoppage time having almost elapsed, but chance for one last England attack as Walker brings it forward. He's got Saka to his right. That's the pass that he plays. He can now run it round. On the right-hand side of the penalty area, Raum just stood his ground, flicked it away, and now he will bring it forward for Musiala. Havertz makes a darting run to get himself back on side. Musiala still didn't play the ball that he wanted. The 8 minutes of stoppage time is up. Kimmich's got it. Kimmich towards the edge of the penalty area. High ball inside the penalty area. Good header away by Maguire. Bounces outside the area, and the half-time whistle blows. Well, that's a significant upgrade on what we saw in Hungary. No way through. Germany with the majority of possession. Twice as many attempts as England and more than twice as many on target. But it's been a better England performance. They've looked sharp on the counter-attack. Saka's come close. Half-time, 0-0.
Yeah, Sports Bar tonight at 10. It'll be Andy Goldstein and Darren Ambrose taking your England calls. 0371 722 3344 if you want to make a note of the number. And fair to say, Dean Ashton, back what Jim said, is better than Hungary. Just flicking through social media, whether that's a guide or not, nobody's really that impressed with England tonight. The only England player who's getting the plaudits is Declan Rice, who I think has been pretty masterful in midfield. Best player on the pitch is Musiala, though, isn't he?
He's been fantastic, Musiala. He's just picked up such intelligent positions, made it really difficult both for Calvin Phillips and for Bellingham since he's come on, picking up those positions that are really hard to mark, to know whether to come out of your own position to pick him up. And he's caused England a few problems, but they're not an amazing German side. It's not like you're thinking, wow, they've got threats everywhere at the top end of the pitch. We had Didi Hamann on Drive yesterday, and he was saying that they're not the threat that they once were. They don't have that real natural centre forward that's the pivot for the rest of the forward line. Muller's been barely in the game because Rice has been so good just in front of him, and I think England just have lacked again that little bit of quality. I've been far more impressed with their pressurising, with their energy, with their sharpness, but again we've just lacked any real cutting edge.
Yeah, Musiala is interesting. I mean, he's a loss to England, there's no doubt about that. But Gareth Southgate was talking about it, and he said that sometimes you get players who have dual international
options,
qualification options, thank you, Abe, and he feels more affinity for Germany. He was born here, he was raised predominantly in South London. His dad's a British Nigerian, his mum is German. He's been playing most of his first team football in Germany, and it's understandable that he is elected to declare for Germany, which he did in February last year, but you'd love him to see him in an English shirt, wouldn't you? He is a class apart and still only 19. You think what a bright future he's got ahead of him.
Yeah, it takes me back to last week when Stuart Pearce was on TalkSport saying that once you've chosen an international team, even at junior level, that's got to be it. He said, I even include Declan Rice in that. And if only we could say that about Jamal Musiala. I've got a picture actually of Musiala and Jude Bellingham as juniors playing for an England representative side. And there was a lovely moment actually where Musiala fouled Jude Bellingham, and as they regrouped and waited for the England free kick, which obviously came to nothing, there was a little hug between the two of them. There's a mutual respect there. They know they're mega teenage talents on the global stage, don't they?
They are, yeah. I think it's nice that they had that moment after a challenge between the two, and they're both just incredible footballers. I know we talk about their age, but that actually doesn't matter. They are excelling at the highest level and on the international stage, and Musiala's been probably the best player on the pitch for Germany, and Bellingham has not exactly looked out of place or as if he's feeling the nerves of playing for England.
Can I be really basic and suggest that England need to kick Musiala more? Isn't that what it's down to? We just need to make it more difficult for him, don't we?
Well, it's interesting because Bellingham is on the right-hand side of the two midfield. Well, if you know Musiala's been more of a threat than Muller, for example, do you change and put Declan Rice across? Because Muller's hardly touched the ball, because Rice has been so good at just shielding that ball into him, and when he's got hold of it, Rice has just shrugged him aside and been too strong for him. Maybe just a switch there, just to negate, because that's been the only threat from Germany, has been Musiala getting it and then either playing in Raum or then looking to play into the box or shoot himself. But England have not really made the most of the times when they've won the ball back and counter-attacked against Germany. They've lacked that little bit of quality, haven't they?
Well, they have Mount as yet again not done what we know he can do. I think Saka's...
But he's been brilliant out of possession, He's been superb.
We need him brilliant in possession.
I know we do, but I think that's the conundrum, isn't it, for Gareth Southgate? He's so good at springing out of that position to the centre-backs and stopping Germany playing out into midfield. But you're right, there needs to be more.
Yeah, it's been a thoroughly enjoyable first half. Make no mistake about that. And maybe Germany will feel that they have had the edge. England not at their very best, but certainly better than they were at the weekend. Half-time, live on TalkSport, it's Germany 0, England 0.
TalkSport Breakfast in partnership with Arnold Clark. We guarantee the best used car deals in the UK. Move up through the gears every morning with top-of-the-range Sports Edition ABS story-breaking news and more goal talk to the gallon. Plus, a stellar lineup of super celebrity sports guests as standard. TalkSport Breakfast every weekday morning from 6 on TalkSport with Arnold Clark. We guarantee the best used car deals in the UK.
When it comes to quality paint, Valspar Trade delivers on all fronts. With its advanced water-based technology, Valspar Trade is easy to apply, with a Class 1 scrub rating, stain resistance and the perfect spray consistency. Right now, there's 20% off our ready-mix paint at your local trade point. Plus, if you have a Trade Point loyalty discount, you'll get this on top. So there's never been a better time to try Valspar Trade. Valspar Trade, formulated for the perfect finish. Offer available until 26th of May, only from Trade Point at B&Q and online. Visit valspartrade.co.uk for more details.
Oi, oi, there's the lads. Still not made their RIF tax refund claim. You clowns could be owed cash back from work costs that you've not been reimbursed for. Let me spell it out for you. R is for refund. I is for I'm not telling you lot again. F is for flipping get it done. T is for today. RIFT. Rift gets tax refunds for me. RIFT. Rift gets tax refunds for me. Search Rift. We'll get you the cash that you're owed. See if you're eligible.
The Sky Connect summer sale is now on. Get Advantage Pro at our lowest monthly price this year, just $24.95. That's super fast business broadband with 4G internet backup for an ultra reliable connection that won't let you down at a price that won't go up. Thanks to no in-contract price rises, guaranteed. Switch and save today in the Sky Connect summer sale. Visit skyconnect.uk. Sky Fibre areas only. 4G coverage required. New customers only. £79 setup. £12 delivery. Advantage Pro 24 36-month contract. Prices exclude 20% VAT. Offer ends 24th of June. See skyconnect.uk for full details.
Starting route to summer holiday. Continue straight after Are We There Yet? Exit for Ooh BP Who's Hungry? Continue towards tempting treats, seriously tasty sandwiches, and a much-needed latte. At the next left, break into the snacks. Merge left for the toilet break Jack said he didn't need.
Whatever this summer brings, pick up amazing quality, great value food and drink from your nearest BP store.
You have arrived.
At BP, we're proud to be part of life's journey. BP, every day brighter.
A new landscaping season is kicking off down at Jewson, so make your debut performance one to remember. Porcelain pavings on offer from a stunning $32.99 per square metre, with more durability and practicality than alternatives. It's also slip resistant, which a fair few players these days could benefit from. For all the crowd favourites, search Jewson Landscaping. Trade price excludes 20% VAT.
Are you fascinated by football?
He's got it!
Tantalised by tennis?
That's an ace!
Giddy for golf? Dizzy about, darts? Well, you tried doing all this alliteration. Anyway, Hawksby and Jacobs have got all the best in sport covered, with all the latest form and odds from Paddy Power. Don't miss Paddy Power's multi-sport ACCA on TalkSport. Combine your bet across multiple sports, and if one leg of your 4+ fold ACCA lets you down, Paddy Power will give you your money back as a free bet. Excludes horse racing. Max free bet £10 per day. Minimum odds 1 to 5 per leg. T's and C's apply. 18+ begambleaware.org.
TalkSport Breakfast. Weekday mornings from 6. A new day, a new dawn.
Go back to bed.
Featuring a rotating team of top-name talent, including Laura Woods.
You're basically my longest relationship now. Not sure why.
Ali McCoist.
Well, look at hot on your face. Dear me.
And Alan Brazil.
Brilliant. Oh, brilliant.
TalkSport Breakfast.
This is exciting stuff.
Weekday mornings from 6 on TalkSport.
Well, there are a few games to get the football fans salivating like Germany, England, whatever the circumstances. And tonight sees the 34th instalment of the rivalry. Eriksson, Capello and Hodgson have all won on German soil. Now can Gareth Southgate. Joshua Kimmich with the corner in towards the near post. And flick from Rudiger. And then cleared away by Walker. Just by the shadow of the post. So much experience for one his age. 90 games he's played for Dortmund. And still a few weeks short of his 19th birthday. He comes on for his 14th international appearance. And when you throw in 40-odd games for Birmingham as well, he's got 150 senior games for club and country behind him. Oh, Maguire trying to wrestle Hammers to the ground. The referee's played the advantage. And a big chance for Hoffman has been taken. Germany lead by a goal to nil, but the flag is up. And England the save. Trippier with much more elevation on it this time. Better ball in and fired over the bar by Kane. It was a big chance. Brown gets to the byline. Left-footed ball clipped in. Havertz attacking it. Heads it wide. Last touch off Trippier into Germany corner. Now Mount can bring it forward for England. Germany thought they should have had a free kick. He's worked it to his right. Saka could save Neuer. Threw up a right hand and tipped it over the bar. Saka's got it now. Oh, stinging effort. England's best of the game's gone wide, but not by much. And Neuer thought he was beaten. He was at full stretch.
Live on TalkSport, it's Germany 0, England 0. We'll await the second half. Get yourself over to the TalkSport YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell so you never miss a thing from the world's biggest sports radio station. There are more live shows than ever before. You'll never miss a big name interview again, and there's exclusive content from all of your favourite presenters, some of your least favourite as well. Head over to the TalkSport YouTube channel now, hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell. Help us to get to 1 million subscribers. One thing listening, it's another thing watching. There's loads of Simon Jordan on there, loads of Mark Goldbridge who managed to trigger Thibaut Courtois on social media this week. Loads of videos, including the Arsenal fan who called in today saying Bukayo Saka won't be moving anywhere. Make sure you bookmark that one. I think they're into the second half already of the under-21 game at Chesterfield. Ian Abrahams.
We are, Adrian. We played 47 minutes. England 1, Albania 0. The goal came just before half-time. It was the Arsenal combination of Emile Smith-Rowe as a free kick is drilled across goal by Tommy Doyle and just wide. Emile Smith-Rowe won the ball inside the penalty area, squared it past the goalkeeper for Flo Balogun to touch the ball home from close range, his Arsenal colleague, and that was 1-0. England could have had more in the first half. Angel Gomez hit a post, Anthony Gordon had a shot really well saved, and Doyle had a couple of efforts just over the top of the crossbar. By the way, you mentioned Jamal Musiala, saw him make his debut at Molineux for the under-21s. Well, Tariq Lamptey's not in this England under-21 squad, Adrian, for a similar reason. Looks like he is going to nail his colours internationally to the mast for Ghana rather than England. So, bit of a disappointment there if that does come to pass in the next 10 days or so. Here at Chesterfield, though, England on a course for qualification. England 1, Albania 0.
Well, it kind of is and it isn't. I mean, he's a right back. Is he going to get in? Now, as good as he is he going to get in ahead of any other English right backs? It's a disappointment, maybe from an England point of view, but not for Tariq Lamptey, who has every right to want to go and play international football. Talking of which, Australia have just beaten the UAE 2-1. They now play Peru on the 13th to decide who will be going to the Qatar World Cup. So the Aussies are still involved, but the UAE, Qatar's neighbours, will not be heading to that World Cup. The Allianz Arena tonight looking spectacular inside and out. It's lit up in rainbow colours for Pride Month, which has got to be a joy. Harry Kane, who wore the Pride armband at the weekend as well. Just looking away to my left, so many England flags, and the England fans have been in fine voice during the first half. Wolverhampton becomes the home of international football for England after this. 2 Nations League games coming up at Molineux. Italy on Saturday, Hungary on Tuesday, and also at Molineux Thursday next week. England's women face Belgium in the first of 3 warm-up games ahead of the Euros. We've got all those live on TalkSport. The Women's Euros next month in England. Really looking forward to that. I think the Lionesses have got a big chance. And by the way, a Wolves flag in with the England fans high up to our left, and right behind it, I know, is an England fan called Joe Gallagher, son of former Wolves striker from the late 80s, Jackie Gallagher. I wonder if Joe will be having something to say on the sports bar later. He's probably listening on the app here in Munich, as Darren Ambrose and Andy Goldstein will be fielding your calls. 03717 22 33 44. It was interesting, Dean Ashton. Some of the players going down with injuries. Phillips obviously had to go off. It was a bit of a shambles, actually, because Jude Bellingham was warming up right in the corner. It took an age for Steve Holland to get his attention to bring him back. That's why Phillips carried on. But he's only played in 20 Premier League games this season, started 18 of them, so you can hardly say he's suffering burnout. Sterling took a knock as well, took a little bit of time to recover. He's played 35 minutes in the last 4 weeks. So 2 players who haven't really been playing game after game and 90 minutes after 90 minutes all season are the ones that have taken knocks in the first half.
Yeah, I think, well, it'll come out, won't it, exactly what they are. I mean, Sterling's carried on, but it does feel as if they were both impact injuries, which I think if you're looking at muscle injuries, then maybe questions can be asked. But with 2 impact injuries, that can happen in a game. It's really unfortunate for Phillips with his opportunity to start here in Munich.
I did feel for him because he has so many injuries this season, hasn't he? Got to feel for him, and he's such a good player when he's fully fit. Such a good and influential player for England, isn't he?
Well, he's become a first, second, third choice on the team sheet, hasn't he, for Gareth Southgate in particular, especially in the big games. He really likes to play Phillips alongside Rice, so it's a shame for both him and the way I'm sure Gareth Southgate wanted to play, but that can happen, and that's when opportunities are there for others.
Germany about to kick us off second half. We're waiting for goals. It's Germany 0, England 0. It's live from Munich on TalkSport with the former England striker Dean Ashton. He's alongside your commentator Jim Proudfoot.
And no changes in personnel for either England or Germany ahead of this second half. Germany lining up Neuer in goal, Klostermann, Rudiger, Schlotterbeck and Raum, Kimmich and Gundogan, Hoffmann, Muller and Musiala and Havertz. England, Pickford in goal, Walker, Stones, Maguire and Trippier, Rice and Bellingham, who came on for Phillips, Sterling, Mount and Saka and Kane. England in all blue, and they're kicking from left to right in this second half. Defending the end away to our left-hand side that houses the majority of England supporters, but as has been well documented, there are England fans all over the place within the German end as well. Very easy to get a ticket if you wanted one. Ball goes back to Manuel Neuer, forward from him to Rudiger. Ilkay Gundogan has it and plays it to Kimmich, who controls it on the stretch. And at the right-hand side for Klostermann. And then Rudiger controls it once more and plays it forward for Schlotterbeck, who can just bring it forward towards halfway and clip a left-footed ball towards the edge of the penalty area. Trippier has headed it away, but the offside flag was up against Thomas Muller anyway. And it's a free kick that'll be taken by England just outside their own box. Alongside me here at the Allianz Arena in Munich is the former England international, Dean Ashton.
And another time that Germany have been caught offside. It's been a good line from Maguire and Stones. They look composed at the back, in good communication. We talked to half-time. We need a little bit more from our England attackers. Be good out of possession this evening, a lot sharper, more intent, but time we saw some quality.
Sterling leaves the ball for Trippier, who'll just bend down and pick it up, prepare to take this throw over on the far touchlines, level the edge of the German penalty area. Throw it into the feet of Mason Mount. Kane will come in off that left flank and try and take over for England. He's done well, good strength from him, sending up Kyle Walker, who tried a right-footed shot. He hasn't had that many shots in his international career, let alone shots that would test the goalkeeper. That one didn't. It was blocked before it got to the edge of the penalty area. And Walker, 67 international games for England without a goal, which is bordering on a record for an outfield player for England without scoring. I think there are Ashley Cole and Gary Neville ahead of him. I think that's right. The ball is back with Schlotterbeck, who saw more of it, far more of it in the first half than any other player on the field. 4 towards Gundogan. Still in the midfield for Germany. He's done well to just try and coax Saka into a challenge and then play the ball square through the midfield for Germany to be able to bring it forward. A little flick around the corner from Hoffman. England can clear it. And then coming to meet it is Joshua Kimmich. And he's been fouled by Saka, and it's going to be a free kick going to be taken over on the right-hand touchline by Germany. Now Kimmich will stay down, and England will get their shape back behind the ball. It's much nearer the halfway line than the edge of the penalty area. The big guns don't push forward for it. 0-0 here in Bavaria tonight on TalkSport.
I mean, both sides, when they have possession, is very, very slow. It really is. When I talked about they're very similar, I think they both want to be a team that presses, wins the ball back and then counters against sides. I think when they're in possession, it's so slow in the build-up. It just allows the opposition just to get a good shape and then make it difficult to certainly play through the middle of the pitch with the way both teams are playing.
Forward he goes from Schlotterbeck. Kimmich turned around the corner by Musiala. Havertz couldn't get it into his stride. He just flicked up off Stones. Havertz then goes to the ground. No foul by Rice. Gundogan will pick it up in the midfield for Germany. Play back for Schlotterbeck, who stumbled in possession. Mason Mount couldn't win the ball back. Gareth Southgate applauds his efforts from very close range, but it's going to be a throw which will be taken on the German left. It's good play by Havertz and good play as well by Rice and Stones to be able to thwart him.
That's brilliant from Rice again. It wasn't even really his ball to take, but he just stepped across about 7 yards, read the play, just in case there was a mistake. Brilliant from Declan Rice again.
Another opportunity for Thomas Muller to bring it forward. Muller into the feet of Ram. Kimmich forced to turn back towards the halfway line, not once but twice. He received the ball from Ilkay Gundogan, then goes back for Rudiger, but Rudiger able to fire the switcher play down the left-hand side for Ram, and Musiala will come to meet it. Saka sliding his shot. Under 21 teammate for England. Goes out of play for a throw, which is taken quickly by Ram into the chest on the edge of the penalty area of Havertz, who then gets it back again from Musiala. Bellingham applying the pressure. Havertz can go back for his while Chelsea teammate Tony Rudiger, and then Kimmich plays it forward. Havertz again picking it up and finding those pockets of space much more readily at the start of his second half, and here's Hoffman! 1-0 to Germany, just played in by Kimmich inside the area, and he was able to turn. He had a yard of space and he fired it with so much pace that Pickford stood little chance. He got a hand to it, but he was just beaten by the pace from close range, and it's Germany 1, England 0.
Well, if you're going to sit back and defend the way England have so far in the second half, with every player back in their own half, then what is it going to take to break you down? It's going to take a little bit of quality. It's going to take real vision, and Joshua Kimmich, absolutely outstanding. Played it, received it back on the half turn, and then just reversed a pass into Hoffman, right in between both Trippier and Maguire, and then Hoffman turned and just took the strike towards goal, and unlike in the first half where Neuer just palmed it away, Pickford put that arm up to palm it away, and I'm afraid it went through it.
Well, Jonas Hoffman, a player that is invariably used as a right back by Germany, but playing in a more advanced role down the right hand side of midfield today. And it's 2-2 for him, his third international goal for his country. And it's the same scoreline that it was the last time England played on German soil. It was Lucas Podolski that got the goal on that occasion. It's Jonas Hoffman tonight, 1-0 in Germany's favour. They've drawn an offside flag here, and it's a free kick that will be taken by England about 10 yards inside their own half.
It was just sheer class from Kimmich, honestly. The position he picked up, the way he saw that pass and run from Hoffman and played it without almost looking, just reversed it into his path. I can't even say that there was particularly any fault with the defending. It was just such good play from Joshua Kimmich. There will be questions asked, though, about Pickford in terms of that save. We know he's a great shot stopper. There's no doubt the hand was there. It was there to be saved, and it's gone and buckled his hand and gone into the back of the net.
Pickford will be frustrated. And England need to find an equalising goal. 2-0 down with half an hour to go in Berlin a few years back and won. Harry Kane, one of the scorers that day, just playing it forward here for Trippier. Trippier out of the left-hand side of the penalty area where Mason Mount will try and make his way forward, but he can't. And Gundogan comes away with the ball. Familiar figure in the midfield, finding Musiala. He's caught in possession. Opportunity from distance, beaten away. Mason Mount firing it in from the edge of the D. And Neuer dived to his right-hand side, made a relatively comfortable save. Been very disappointed had that got past him. But it was well hit by Mason Mount from the thick end of 25 yards and a decent response from England.
Yeah, it was brilliant counter-pressing from Jude Bellingham. Just took the ball off Gundogan, and Mason Mount then was away. He had the decision to make. Do I play this into Sterling's path, or do I take the strike on? We know he's capable and got good technique. It was a decent strike, an easy save for Neuer. I think if that would have been Kimmich, that would have been reversed and played into Sterling, who then would have been in. Maybe that's just a slight difference in this game so far.
Rodrigo with an excellent ball between the lines for Musiala, who has got away from Bellingham, but he couldn't get away from Rice. Bellingham actually just did enough to allow Rice to get there in time to make the second challenge. And Musiala was thwarted. Germany leading England 1-0. The other game in this group has seen another goal. Hungary have pulled one back. Gianluca Mancini putting through his own net. And it's Italy 2, Hungary 1 with that Mancini own goal. And Italy still top of the group as things stand with 4 points. Germany also with 4. Hungary with 3. England with none as things stand right now. Trippier playing the ball forward through the midfield for Mason Mount. Kimmich's knocked it out of play for a throw, which is taken very quickly down the line by Trippier. For Harry Kane, good movement from him, coming back in off the left-hand touchline. Sterling turning it around the corner beautifully. Great England move this. They get a corner out of it, nothing more. Mount had made his way forward. Really good defending from Schlotterbeck, who come into cover and stopped Mount getting an effective shot, and he was able to divert it wide. But that was much better from England, one of their best moves of the night.
It was slick, wasn't it, from Sterling and Kane to release Mason Mount, who again was just a fraction slow to react. That needed to be out of his feet and struck quickly. Just took a heavy touch and then was blocked off.
England's first corner of the second half. It's taken from the left flank in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Header away on the edge of the penalty area. Came from Schlotterbeck, went high up in the air. Muller is able to pick it up though on the left-hand touchline, and he can now run forward and play an excellent ball down towards Kai Havertz. Hoffman was waiting in the middle, but great covering again from Bellingham, who tracked a mile to come back and watch Kai Havertz. Muller has it. Musiala stretched and couldn't bring it under control. And John Stones is going to be able to clear down the England right-hand side and out for a throw.
Always find it fascinating. Whenever a team concedes a goal, you watch the attackers jump out of that dugout and up they go to warm up. There's Grealish, Bowen, Abraham, all out, all doing the warm-ups, all looking at the manager.
They want a part of it. They want to have the opportunity to make a name for themselves. Understandably, England's blank in Hungary, their first failure to score in a game in 14 internationals. Are they going to suffer back-to-back defeats? Looking that way at the moment, losing 1-0 the other night, trailing 1-0 here. They haven't lost successive games since they lost 3 in a row back in 2018. The last 2 games of that World Cup. It's Croatia in the semis and Belgium in the 3rd and 4th place playoff. And they lost to Spain in the Nations League opener that time around, although they still ended up winning the group. That was the last time England lost successive games. But they're 34 minutes away from that happening tonight, 3.5 years on. Neuer clears from inside his own 6-yard box, over the head of Bellingham. Very nicely taken down by Joshua Kimmich. And he turned and got it away from Saka to play Schlotterbeck. Long diagonal from the centre half, but it's too long for Muller. And it goes out of play for a throw, but it'll be taken over on the England left-hand side. Midway inside their own half. We played 12 minutes of the second half here at the Allianz Arena in Munich. It's 1-0 to Germany. And these are the thoughts of the former England striker, Dean Ashton.
And when you want a player to take control of a game, Joshua Kimmich is doing that. He did it with his quality to set up the first goal. He's now just dictating a bit of tempo for Germany. It's just a question now for England. Are they going to allow Kyle Walker and Trippier that little bit more freedom to get forward and support the front four?
Rice plays it out to the England left-hand side for Sterling. Saka made a good uncharted run forward. Sterling couldn't squeeze it through to him. Trippier has done well to win a throw off Klosterman. And he'll take it about 10 yards from the corner flag over on the far side, which is the England left. Thrown towards the corner of the penalty area. Just a little coming together gives England a free kick. Muller was the guilty party. It's just thrown across to Bukayo Saka. As he went past Muller, there was a collision between the pair of them. And a free kick to England in a decent area. It's not quite as central as they'd like. Distance is great. About 10 yards, 8 yards, 10 yards outside the penalty area, but very much left of centre. And so favours a ball teased in rather than a direct shot, really.
Well, he does have one international goal, Kieran Trippier. I think you will remember it well, Jim.
Just about got my voice back. Yeah. I think that was the one that did all the damage.
Yeah.
3.5 years on, but still struggling.
I think most households were just about sitting down for the start, and everything went. Drinks, food, the lot.
Yeah, that was some goal in that World Cup semi-final. Probably the highlight of the night, truth be told. Certainly didn't end the way that we wanted. He's not going to be able to double his international tally from here, I'm sure. Don't even know that he's going to try his luck necessarily. Numbers 4, 5 and 6 are all waiting. It was actually very cleverly worked. Just turn to the right-hand side for Kane to try his luck from a better angle. It was blocked. Rudiger with a hitch kick can get it away. And the crowd applaud his agility. It goes out of play for a throw that will be taken on the England right-hand side by Kyle Walker after we got news of another goal in the England under-21s game. Ian Abrahams.
66 gone, you've got to think it's done now. England 2, Albania 0. Second for Flo Balogun. Ball headed across goal, and from close range he headed in his second. England and Flo Balogun 2, Albania 0.
And that'll be qualification assured. Here's Kane. Back through the midfield for Declan Rice. England at the moment heading for back-to-back defeats at the start of this Nations League campaign. Ball is hitting very deep from the England left, and Sterling's quick to apologise as it bypasses everybody and goes out of play for a goal kick that will be taken away to our right-hand side. A banner up at the one corner of the ground says, "Dear Mr. Seferin, Europe wants to stand." They do have safe standing and a lot of it here at the Allianz Arena, but they're not allowed to use it for international games, which is the point that the Bayern fans are making. Plenty of people will concur with those sentiments. Germany have a free kick which will be taken over on the right-hand touchline. Inside their own half, goes back for Rudiger. And now forward from him to the blonde-haired Schlotterbeck. The bearded Ilkay Gundogan comes to receive it and plays it back for Schlotterbeck again. Under a little bit of pressure from Kane, can work into Rudiger. Timo Werner is going to be coming on very shortly for Germany. Kai Havertz might be the man that comes off, just lays it off to the right. We'll have the option potentially of shuffling things around and maybe bringing Muller off. We'll wait and see what the plans are in a moment. Schlotterbeck, who really has caught the eye, will bring it forward again. To his left is Gundogan. Gundogan to Kimmich, and back for Rudiger. Possession very easy to come by as far as Germany are concerned at the moment. They've had more of it in the second half than ever before, and it's up nearly at 60% now. Kimmich, about 20 yards outside the penalty area. Out to the England left, where Hoffman tries to work it in, but Mount's able to get it away. And then coming back to cover, Klosterman can knock it back to his goalkeeper, Manuel Neuer. 1-0 Germany lead. We're in the final half hour. The ball again is over on the German right-hand side. Play through the midfield for Joshua Kimmich. Gundogan laying it back for Manuel Neuer again. Neuer out towards Gundogan. Gundogan put under pressure, telling pressure from Bellingham. He's done really well. He's robbed him. Sterling across the face of goal. Neither a cross nor shot really. And Saka coming in the far post couldn't get there. Neuer again tries to take the goal kick really quickly. He's just presented it to Walker, and then he can't make the most of a glorious situation. And Gareth Southgate's hands involuntarily shot up to his head because he knows what a good chance that was. 2 half chances in the space of about 7 or 8 seconds for England. They didn't come close to making either of them pay.
No, exactly. 2 horrible bits of quality, wasn't it? Raheem Sterling, I mean, when have I ever seen him put it onto that left foot of his and strike it forcefully into the back of the net? I don't think I've ever seen it. So it was a strange decision to take that on. Bobbled it harmlessly wide. It didn't even go out. And then Kyle Walker then just didn't really understand the pass he was trying to make and didn't execute it very well as well. So it's been the issue for England. They've pressed well, they've won the ball back in good areas, and the quality just hasn't been there.
Well, that was another illustration of Neuer's absolute determination to take goal kicks as quickly as humanly possible. There's no need for him to take that quickly, particularly with Saka trying to close him down.
He's taking it out. I thought it went out. I didn't think it went out. And that's how quickly he'd obviously got the ball and taken it and made a mess of it.
The double change is going to be made in a moment. Neuer being put under more pressure. The double change is with Germany about to bring on Gnabry and Werner. Neuer's got it away, eventually through the midfield, was able to chip it into space. And now to be brought down on the right-hand side of that midfield area. Musiala is one of the players coming off, seemingly. Müller has it. Müller is 15 yards outside the penalty area, down towards Gundogan. Musiala's excellent in the first half, has seen less of the ball in the second. Schlotterbeck, back for Rudiger. Still 1-0 to Germany after the goal from Hoffmann, which came 6 minutes into the second half on TalkSport. Your chance to react on the Sports Bar tonight to what at the moment will be an England defeat. Andy Goldstein alongside Darren Ambrose taking your calls on 03717223344. Ball drifting over the head of everybody. Had a play for a throw, which will allow the double substitution to be made. And the 2 men coming off are Hoffmann, the goal scorer, and Musiala. Werner and Gnabry, the players who are coming on here for Germany.
Yeah, obviously the system won't change. I would expect Havertz to just shift, playing behind Werner. Gnabry will look to go wide, I'm sure.
Well, Timo Werner is a player that divides opinion more than many others. Lothar Matthäus, who is probably renowned here in Germany for having opinions on most things and not necessarily towing the line of expectation. He absolutely loves him. He says that Werner's a fantastic player. Hansi Flick clearly loves him as well. He's scored 6 goals and 7 internationals this season. He has that pace to cause problems, and he'll have another opportunity to shine here with about 25 minutes to go. So he's on, and Gnabry had an extraordinary start to his international career, is on as well, and he very nearly had an extraordinary start here. So he's played it into Gundogan inside the penalty area, but the Manchester City man couldn't quite turn and keep the ball at his feet. And England had the opportunity to come back and smuggle it away for a corner.
Yeah, it was really well read by Kyle Walker. See it so often from him. You think the chance is there, and then that just acceleration that he's got to get in there first.
First corner of the second half of Germany had won, and it ties the corner count overall up at 4 apiece. So just shy of the midway stage of this second half. Schlotterbeck making a run into the middle, flicked on by Kai Havertz, but just behind Schlotterbeck. Werner's going to be able to get there. Now the striker lays it off to his left-hand side for Müller. Müller's ball back across the edge of the area. Gundogan tackled by the referee. That's a brilliant tackle, and he stops Ilkay Gundogan getting a shot in. He had 2 nibbles at him actually. Gundogan just tried to ease the ball to the left. The referee knew he couldn't make himself invisible, and he knew he was in the way, and he stepped the wrong way. He tried to anticipate where Gundogan was going, and he just stepped straight into his line to stop this shot coming in. Now he's going to make his way over, and what's he swapped there? I think he might have broken his whistle. I was going to say, was that his whistle? Was it his watch? Watch, maybe, yeah. He's just swapped his watches over. He's apologised. Play will restart with a drop ball, which should be presented to Germany. And Bellingham's poked it away. The ball has ended up with Germany inside their own half, but Bellingham not understanding what the referee's intention was there. It's like the old days where the ball would be dropped at the feet of a player so it could be restored to Germany. I think what the referee was expecting it to be just dropped at the feet of Kimmich for him to play on in the kind of area that the ball hit the referee. When he then dropped it at his feet, he chipped it into space straight away inside the area, and England weren't quite anticipating that. They cleared from that first phase of play, but back it will come in again, with Kimmich laying it back for Schlotterbeck once more. And another chance to bring it forward. Kimmich down the left-hand side for Muller. Muller back for Kai Havertz. Havertz with a ball that looked as though it was going to go to Kimmich, and he just fired it off at a different angle for Schlotterbeck. He goes back for Rudiger. He goes a long way back for Neuer. Emergency exit behind him inside the D on the edge of his penalty area. And he goes out towards Rudiger once more. Drives it forward first time into space for Timo Werner. Stones is there, but Werner can lay it off for Gnabry. Over on the Germany right-hand side. Now he's got 13 goals in his first 13 internationals. Ball goes out to the left. A good ball turned down the corner by Brown, but Havertz didn't quite read it quickly enough. And that allowed Pickford to get there first.
It did, and he was followed by a tired-looking Jude Bellingham, who's just trudging back into play and will receive this off Kyle Walker, but it was a really clever run from Havertz. Just ran off the back of Jude Bellingham into the space that was vacated. A good movement from Werner just to take Stones out of his position, and Havertz then looked to exploit that space. Just too much on the ball, and Pickford, as he has been most of the night, he's been really alert to those passes over the top and through the England defence.
This was the ground where Hansi Flick had such an extraordinary run as the Bayern manager. And he's had a decent run on home soil as the German national coach as well. This will be a fifth home win in a row since he took charge. They've now scored 20 and conceded only one in Germany since Hansi Flick took over. He was the first German coach ever to win his first 8 games, still unbeaten in this his 11th match. The Germans drawing the last 2 coming into tonight. Jack Grealish is going to be coming on very shortly for England with just a little over 20 minutes to go. Ilkay Gundogan is in possession, plays now towards Serge Gnabry. Good movement off the ball again, able to chop back onto his left foot. Thomas Muller chipping in inside the box, but Walker's there to head it away under duress. He's given a little shove from Round. Play goes on. Round has it, space left hand side of the area, fires it in very deep. Muller coming around the back. What a standing save! Brilliant stop by Pickford at his near post, and Muller just stands motionless and looks at the England goalkeeper, wondering how he's managed to keep it out. It stays just 1-0.
Well, I mean, Germany have got a real grip on this game, and England are so deep that when they do clear the ball, it's just coming straight back. Round with a great ball into the back post to Muller, who gets a firm side foot on it, into the ground, skidding up, and Jordan Pickford shows what he does so often for England and for Everton. A magnificent save.
Corner will be taken over on the German right-hand side. Gnabry stands right in front of Jordan Pickford. It's swung at the second time of asking. Schlotterbeck heading it back across the face of goal. That's a set piece they've used a lot. Stones and Maguire could deal with it and get it away. Schlotterbeck then ends up on the deck. Rice, who was the England player nearest him, leans over him and suggests that perhaps he made the most of it. So the referee didn't think that it was worthy of a free kick. It's going to be a throw which will be taken on the German left. England's under-21s have a third. And we'll get news of it very shortly when England make the change. It is Jack Grealish that's going to be coming on in a moment. The ball is over on the German left flank once more. Havertz to Round. Round's ball inside the box. Walker is going to be the man to clear. Muller to Gundogan. Gundogan on 2. England players coming towards him. He flipped it between the pair of them, looking now for Timo Werner. Bellingham is across and mops up neatly, plays it off Werner, and it goes out of play. So England will make the change. It's going to be Grealish for Mount, and we'll get news of the third goal for the under-21s, Ian Abrahams.
England 3, Albania 0. Express pace down the left-hand side by Anthony Gordon, crossing the 6 yards out, taking up space in the box. Cameron Archer only just on the sub to volley home the Aston Villa man. And since then, Albania just had a man sent off for another foul on Anthony Gordon. England 3, 10-man Albania 0.
Paris also had a man sent off in the Nations League tonight. They're a goal down at home to Luxembourg to boot. Turkey 4 up in Lithuania, and you're up to date with all the goals. The change, Grealish for Mount, Dean Ashley.
Yeah, and Grealish has gone out to the left-hand side as Kane turns away.
He's got Grealish making a run into space. He can't find him, but he can find Rice, and Rice can make one of those marauding runs forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Grealish has it now. First contribution back for Rice inside the box, but toe poked away, and Gundogan should be able to clear. His club teammate Walker won it back. Saka then trying to flick it forward, didn't get the angle right, and Germany will be able to clear through the midfield. But Walker still coming back, is in the right place to be able to win it back again. And Maguire works it forward back out towards Grealish.
Well, we keep winning it back and not being able to do anything with it. Just keep making the wrong choice or a poor pass or miscontrol. It's so frustrating to watch from England's point of view, but Sterling has gone into that number 10 role and Grealish out on the left.
And Sterling and Bellingham exchange passes, and Grealish can fizz it in, looking for Kane. It's blocked by Schlotterbeck, but not a more dynamic dimension for England since Grealish has come on. I know that he's only been on 90 seconds or so, but a slightly better balance and better shape about them with Grealish on the left now and Sterling playing as the 10.
Well, Sterling in that central role, when he just goes past players, he'll open the German defence up for that space for Grealish.
So another corner, taken this one by Trippier. Very deep, Maguire coming round the back, able to keep it alive, and more than that, almost found the top left-hand corner with a looping header that kept Neuer honest, and he had to take a couple of very hasty steps back just to punch it away with his right hand. England get it back, but in a much deeper role. Grealish running at the German back line. Saka played in, couldn't find a way through. Germany on the counter-attack now, have a chance. They're going to be making another change in a moment themselves. Ball played in for Timo Werner. He got the shot in, away from Walker, but Pickford just made a comfortable save. And then whacks it forward as quickly as he can, Pickford. And towards the far touchline, where there's a steepling ball came down towards Grealish. Sterling was frustrated because he made a run into space. And he wanted a low, flat one into feet inside the centre circle. But Pickford took the more aerial option out towards Grealish, and it didn't come off, and Germany have it back again.
I mean, the problem again, if you win the ball back and then just give it away cheaply, it means you really expose then your centre-backs for Germany just to go and counter-attack against. You build up a good move and then give the ball away cheaply. You really put pressure on Maguire and Stones.
Germany's latest change will see Thomas Muller come off, and Leon Goretzka is the player that's going to come on to replace him. Goretzka is currently in his longest run without an international goal, and now standing at 8. Another Bayern player coming on to replace his club teammate for a 43rd cap. Now Muller is the man that comes on. So Goretzka for Muller. That's Germany's third change. They've got one more junction at which they can make changes. Rudiger has possession, plays it back to his goalkeeper Manuel Neuer. And Neuer clears it left-footed. Crowd here tonight, just a shade over 66,000 here at the Allianz Arena. Good play. Sterling turning, Grealish fighting in, and Kane, what a save! Neuer somehow getting something on it. Schlotterbeck sliding in as well. Neuer gets the congratulations. They've denied Harry Kane his 50th international goal with a stunning piece of defensive play. Grealish from a quickly taken corner, trying to work the angle to fizz it in. Back in from Trippier. Heads go up for it. Stones off the top of his head, goes wide, but that's as close as England have come to making it 1-1.
Jack Grealish has been brilliant since coming on. So direct, so much intent, great vision, great link up with Sterling. Just got the ball out of his feet there, not even a thought, just whipped a great ball into the back post. Kane was stretching but got a full strike to it. Neuer covered the goal brilliantly, because he started obviously at his near post where Grealish was, quickly shuffled those feet to the back post and made a great save to deny Harry Kane. But what a difference Jack Grealish has made since coming on.
Absolutely. And England looking so much more purposeful. They're going to make their final change in a moment. And it's going to be Bowen for Saka. Saka just caught in possession here in the midfield by Ram. Goretzka first on the scene, lays it back for Kimmich, over the top for Gnabry. He didn't have too much of a margin for error as he tried to drop it over Trippier. And it goes straight through for Jordan Pickford. So Bowen, who made his international debut in Budapest and was England's standout performer, is going to get 12 minutes here tonight. Sterling, and he might now drift out towards that left-hand side again. Couldn't find Grealish. Germany will pick it up. Gundogan knew that the bodies were coming in from either side, was able to lay it back for the tall midfielder Goretzka. He can find his goalkeeper, Neuer, who just made that outstanding save moments ago. Schlotterbeck chipping it forward. It's going to be chased by Timo Werner, and very well controlled on the left-hand touchline. Maguire follows him out of the touchline, but Werner works it infield for Gundogan. There's a bit of space through the middle. Gundogan just slowed things down with the frustration of some in the crowd and his teammates. Kimmich's got it. Kimmich is 15 outside the penalty area. Plays it into the feet of Goretzka. And that goes out to the right-hand side for Klosterman. Klosterman around the left back. Werner drifting away to the left-hand side of the penalty area. Kimmich in the central role again for Germany, who lead 1-0 on TalkSport with 12 minutes to go. Gnabry controlling it, playing it to Goretzka. Still England not in a position where they can make this change, because Germany are just suffocating things with their possession at the moment. Kimmich forward towards Gnabry, beautiful weight on the ball. Gnabry's pulled it back from the byline, but it was cleared before it found Werner, and then Rice controls an awkward one and takes it out of the left-hand side before firing that field where Sterling's rolled his man. No, he hasn't. He's fouled it. And it's a free kick over on the right-hand touchline. Klosterman is very quickly back goal side anyway. But England will make the change. Saka coming off and Bowen coming on, Dean Ashton with 11 to go.
I think it says a lot about his performance against Hungary, Bowen, that he's been given the opportunity again to come on, try and get England back into this game. Saka, I know he had that shot in the first half, but I've been disappointed in most of his play, especially the second half. He's given the ball away far too often in good areas.
So that's England's third change and their final one as well. You are entitled to bring 5 players on, but you can only do it at 3 separate junctures within the playing time. So England will only be making 3 changes tonight. So the ball goes out to the right for Neuer. Just over 10 minutes to go. Brought down by Werner. Werner to Gnabry. Gnabry to Havertz, who can turn, make his way towards the edge of the penalty area. Gundogan, little backheel flick, having control it. They couldn't find Raum. Raum caught Walker. Bowen will be able to bring it forward. And bring it forward with good intent as well. Kimmich came back and made an excellent challenge, but Bowen made 30 yards upfield there, and he gets a throw out of it with 10 minutes to go, and England looking for an equaliser.
Again, not only is he great on the ball, Kimmich, he's got that defensive mindset that he can read the play and know and sniff out danger. Just came across, body check Bowen.
Well, England on the front foot again inside the penalty area, win a corner. Now Reece James is getting ready to come on. England have, as I mentioned, made changes at 3 separate junctures. One in the first half. None of them have been concussion subs. So one in the first half when Calvin Phillips went off, and then they made a separate one about 10 minutes ago when Grealish came on for Mount. Bowen's just come on for Saka. Corner is taken short. Sterling taking a touch, working into a shooting position, but firing it over the top right-hand corner and high and wide. 9 left, Germany 1, England 0.
Well, we have seen him do that. I haven't seen him with the left, but I've definitely seen him cut in on that right foot. Nice quick corner taken by Trippier. And then he just faked the first shot, jinked past one player, and then got it all wrong. Really high and wide from Sterling, who's, to be fair, has looked really bright in that 10 roll. I just wonder, we're seeing some action down there, whether England have actually
got this wrong. I think they might have done. The last one needed to be a double change. If they wanted to bring James on, and it looks like Gareth Southgate has actually told Reece James, I'm sorry, you can't come on. So whether that is a mistake or just a miscommunication between manager and substitutes, I don't know. We'll get to the bottom of that after the game, I'm sure. And the correspondent Faker and others will be speaking to Gareth and to the headline makers tonight for England as well. As John Stones plays a long one out towards the England right for Walker, but he's missed it. And it's gone out of play for a throw. It'll be taken in the German left-back position. A couple of late goals for Turkey. 6 up in Lithuania now in the Nations League. Turkey down in League C these days. If they don't win promotion, I'll be very surprised. Ball is over on the German left. Walker can flick it away. Bellingham will help it on. Kane chests it down, turns it around the corner very cleverly. Bellingham couldn't get there before Raum, who clears and slices it straight out for a throw that'll be taken on the left. Germany are going to make another change, and this is their last juncture at which to make one. And Leroy Sané is going to come on to replace is it Ilkay Gundogan, whose number is up? It is. So former Manchester City man on for a current one, Sané for Gundogan, and this is Germany's last chance.
Not bad, is it? He's not had a brilliant second half to the season, Sané, but we all know what he's capable of. When he was at Manchester City, gave us some special moments to watch.
4 goals in World Cup qualifying this season for Leroy Sané, and 14 for Bayern. He scored nearly 40 in his days with Manchester City. Ball's out of play for an England throw, which Kyle Walker is going to take. It's level with the edge of the German penalty area. And he's just throwing it back towards Bellingham. He turns away from the recently arrived Gnabry. And now Harry Maguire has the chance to bring the ball forward for England, who trail by a goal to nil with 6.5 minutes to go here on TalkSport. Grealish, who's been excellent since coming on, finding Bellingham. Bellingham turning. He plays it into the feet of Kane. Kane back for Jarrod Bowen. Bowen fizzing in across the face of the 6-yard box, and at the far post it's poked wide, but it was a brilliant defensive contribution from Klosterman, who slid in and got the decisive touch. Great play by Bowen, but he couldn't find a man in blue.
A bit like Grealish on the other side. Really sharp from Bowen to fire that across. He almost put it into his own net.
Equaliser not out of the question here. It felt for a long time it was in Budapest. It doesn't feel that way necessarily tonight. There's only 6 minutes left. Here's Grealish bringing the ball forward here again from England after the corner was taken. Flicks it on here. Kane brought down. Referee has a look and says no penalty. Neuer bowls the ball out very quickly. Sané will bring it forward on the counter-attack, and Kyle Walker brilliantly slides it away, stops it finding Werner. It looked for all the world that was a penalty. Kane brought down off the ball, and the referee is just telling Jordan Pickford, don't take the goal kick yet, and they are checking the incident to see if Harry Kane has got a penalty.
Well, for me it looked like a penalty. It looked like he was clipped. The decision they've got to make, as the referee is going to look over at the screen, is would Harry Kane have actually even got anywhere near the ball, because it really was fired across.
Well, the referee very quickly is called to the screen and will just inspect the incident on the advice of VAR, Juan Martinez Muguera. Del Cerro Grande having a look on the far side from us. The monitor is just placed above one of the revolving red hoardings. And the official UEFA feed says penalty under review, foul. He's definitely been clipped from behind by the defender. I think our initial reaction was that was a penalty. What's the referee going to give? He's going to give it. Penalty to England. And they'll have a chance to equalise, and Harry Kane will have the chance to bring up his half-century from the penalty spot and get England back on level terms.
Yeah, it feels like it was the correct decision. He definitely was clipped. I just didn't know whether the ball had been fired across and he was never going to get there, but ultimately the contact was there. Kane was absolutely adamant that it was a penalty as well. Well, it's a big chance, and he's so good at penalties.
Well, he has missed 3 in his time for England, but he's put 13 away. Scored against Germany in the Euros. He scored in a victory in Berlin back in 2016. And he now puts the ball down, and he has the chance to become the quickest England player to 50 goals in their international history, or break Wayne Rooney's record by a year and 5 days if he can put this away. He would become only the second player to reach a half-century for England. This to get England back on level terms with 3 minutes of normal time to go. It's Kane against Neuer, right-footed. He sends it into the bottom left-hand corner. A half-century for Harry Kane. An equalising goal for England. Germany won. England won. And there's a little bit of history for England's captain. Fantastic.
He is just a born goal scorer, Harry Kane. He's addicted to it. And once again, that routine that he always goes through for every single penalty. Little stutter, steps forward, sends Neuer the wrong way. While that was happening, I looked up to my left and all the England fans just erupted in that top tier. England back level.
In the midst of all of that, Rodrigo got a yellow card for dissent, incidentally. 1-1 the scoreline. Kane's 16th goal in his last 14 internationals, but only the second he's ever scored in the Nations League. He's played in every Nations League game that England have ever played. All 14 of them. It's just his second goal in this competition. His 50th for England, and he's now just 3 shy of Wayne Rooney's all-time record. As I mentioned, he becomes the quickest player to that milestone. More importantly, 1-1 with 90 seconds to go. And the fact that England have been able to come from behind and have showed a little bit of wherewithal will be a massive positive as far as they're concerned. After the disappointments of Hungary the other night, they have looked that little bit hungrier tonight. It's been a better performance, and they'll feel that it merits a positive result. They haven't got one yet. They've got a minute of normal time plus a fair bit of stoppage time to be added. It's one apiece here in Munich, and Goretzka's got it for Germany, and he plays it forward but too heavily away from Werner and through for Jordan Pickford. 1-1.
Well, rightly so. He was asked the questions and criticised for his substitutions against Hungary. Well, they've worked tonight. Whether they've got that wrong or not in terms of the amount of subs that they have to make in the junctions that they have, Grealish has been fantastic since coming on. I think Sterling in that role behind Kane has made such a difference because he just drives through the German defence. And it'll do England the world of good if they can see this through or even go on and win it.
Now Kyle Walker will bring the ball forward here for England. What a flip it would be if they could indeed go on and win it. Kane, Bowen's played him in. Kane shipped it out the left-hand side of the area. Jack Grealish for Kane! Oh, he opened up his right foot and got hardly anything on it at all. And it will drift down towards the right-hand touchline. England get a throw, won by Walker, but that was Kane's moment. 4 minutes of added time.
Well, it was great vision in the first place from Kane to play that over towards Jack Grealish, who just stood the German defender up and then just pierced it through his legs in towards Kane, who was then running onto it. He just completely missed it. He was just there to be side-footed towards goal, just completely missed it.
One of the German players just receiving a little bit of treatment, and England will have a throw. It's finished in Chesterfield, 3-0 to England's under-21s, incidentally. Walker will take this throw for England. So the 4 minutes of added time only start now, really. Sterling laying it back for Maguire. Maguire inside the centre circle. Maguire to his left-hand side for Trippier. Trippier out to Grealish. He couldn't rule out an England winner, you know. Ball comes back for Rice. Rice to Maguire. Maguire left-hand side of the centre circle. High ball out towards Jarrod Bowen. Couldn't control it. Out of play for a Germany throw. Quick full-time details from Ian Abrahams in Chesterfield.
3 Albania 0, 2 goals for Flo Balogun and 1 for Cameron Archer, his first at this level for England as they qualify with 2 games to spare for next summer's finals. Finished here in Chesterfield against the 10 men of Albania with a man off at the end. England 3, Albania 0.
1-1 the scoreline here. And Jude Bellingham's just gone down He's caught off the ball on his right ankle. The England medical staff are waiting to be able to come on and give him some treatment. Meanwhile, England down to 10 men have to defend because Werner will bring the ball forward here. Lays it out to the left-hand side for Ram, down by the byline. Walker blocked it. Bowen back defending. Was he caught by Werner? Referee says no. Werner gets it inside the area. Stones takes a touch and volleys it clear with his second. Gets it upfield. Bellingham wanting to receive treatment. Can't get off the field. Gareth Southgate is absolutely furious. He wants the game stopped. And he's shouting at Hansi Flick and the German medical staff, stop the game. But it's not a head injury. They are entitled to play to the whistle. Round, level the edge of the penalty area. Into the feet of Leroy Sané. Gnabry in space on the right-hand side of the box. Germany looking for a late winner here. Goretzka going up for it. Maguire headed it away. Bellingham back on his feet. And coming back and trying to put the pressure on Ram. Ram's got it. Turns it round the corner. Poor ball. Walker will shepherd it over the line. Out of play for a goal kick. Rarely see Gareth Southgate as angry as that. And he is furious. And he's shouting over at the German contingent on the edge of their technical area who advance out of the area, pointing the finger at Gareth Southgate. He was livid because he felt that was a nasty one off the ball. Bellingham should have been allowed treatment because of that. Germany play to the whistle as they are entitled to do.
Yeah, we don't see that often, do we? A snarl from Gareth Southgate across. I mean, to be fair to the Germans, Bellingham's got up and sprinted back, so I'd have carried on.
Well, it's up to the referee to stop it. Don't forget, up after us, the former Palace midfielder Darren Ambrose taking your calls tonight on Sports Bar alongside Andy Goldstein on 0371722 3344. Pickford getting it forward. It's handed away from the back by Rudiger. Turned over the top, Maguire. Will be able to just shepherd a header. Pushing it back to Jordan Pickford. It's in no hurry to get the ball upfield. About a minute of stoppage time to go. Well, it's good this morning to hear from former England striker Darren Bent. He said he wanted to see a more attacking style of football from the England team on breakfast this morning. Well, he's seen that. Adventurous substitutions. Grealish has done well. Bowen as well in parts. And breakfast tomorrow will have more reaction to tonight in a game that has ended all square. And Jordan Pickford turns on the full-time whistle and applauds the travelling England supporters away to our left-hand side, who are in fine spirits because that was a performance that was much, much better than that we saw 72 hours ago in Budapest. They end up with a positive result, avoiding successive defeats for the first time in 3.5 years, thanks to Harry Kane's 50th goal for his country, coming from the spot 3 minutes from time. Step in the right direction for England. Still plenty of room for improvement, but something to build on there. This one finishes Germany 1, England 1.
Jim, thanks very much. As the England and Germany players shake hands, there's so much to talk about after that game. Pickford's error, didn't score from open play again. Harry Kane rescues them. Did he actually play that well? The performance of Grealish off the bench didn't look quite right. The starting lineup again for England, despite the change of tactics from Gareth Southgate. A substitution they tried to make, or were going to make, and they weren't allowed to make. That looked a bit of a shambles. And then Gareth Southgate actually getting angry at the end of the game when Germany didn't put the ball out for Bellingham to get treatment. So much to talk about, Dean Ashton. As an England fan, I just feel relieved that we haven't gone back-to-back defeats and that we haven't gone 2 games without scoring. I'm just relieved about that.
I had my eyes firmly fixed on Gareth Southgate when that whistle blew, and he turned and gave an incredible high-five hug to Steve Holland and his coaching staff, every single one of them. I think he knew how important that result and that goal at the end was going to be, because he would have known the grief that he would have got for losing back-to-back again. And the substitutes worked. There was no such thing of a hangover for Grealish, by the way. How good was he when he came on? Wow. He was absolutely magnificent. Such invention, such of an injection of pace and energy into the side. Sterling then suddenly playing as that 10. Bowen looked good again when he came on. So we got there in the end with a decent result. But we can't just brush over parts of that game, and especially the early part of the second half, where again we looked a bit lost and the quality was really poor.
Yeah, it was. So let's talk about it. The goal from Germany that put them in front, and Jordan Pickford should have saved it. He knows that, and actually he doesn't let England down very often, so I think he's got a bit in the bank. But I think he'll look back at it and say, yeah, I should have had a stronger hand there. We've seen what Neuer did during this game. He made saves like that and made them look easy. Well, Pickford, he's got to look at himself for that one, hasn't he?
Of course he has. I think if you were to give him that shot 10 times, he would save 9 of them. He would, because to get a hand up and a firm hand on it, he's so likely to save that so often, and it's just a misjudgment, a slight misjudgment. We don't know if the ball's moved slightly from the strike, as we know, the modern football can do, but ultimately he will look back and be really frustrated himself that he hasn't saved it. But isn't it just nice, rather than the other night, to see that real character, the way they've come back, the way they've fought after the goal that they conceded, and it shows the squad that England have got when you can bring on the likes of Grealish and Bowen and change the game, which it did. And in the end, it looked like we were going to get the winner.
Yeah, listen, there were flashes from England. There was a lovely little link-up on the left-hand side where Mount just slightly overrun it, heavy touch, and some lovely football, especially after Grealish came on. He really was a game changer for England. And I think one of the great things about experimenting, which is what Gareth has said he's doing with these Nations League games, he's played 2 different systems in 2 games. He's seen different players do different things. That's great. You get to learn more about the players, but actually in another way it's not so great, because you end up not knowing what your best starting lineup is. Jack Grealish has made a great claim to say, I should be starting games tonight.
And that's what you want as a manager. You want players to come on and give you a real headache, and I'd be very, very surprised if he doesn't start the next game against Italy. He was that good when he came on, honestly. He was just head and shoulders above anybody else of that front 4 before he came on. Honestly, he was outstanding. He was what we've come accustomed to seeing when he came through at Aston Villa, being able to take a game by the scruff of the neck and just mesmerise defenders with his work. And not only that, he picked the right decision every single time. When to dribble and then when to pass. And the cross for Kane when Neuer saved brilliantly. Honestly, he was so good when he came on, Grealish.
He was brilliant, but we know that's what he can do, so it puzzles me as to why he hasn't been. I thought he should have started against Hungary. I thought he should have started here. We know what Jack Grealish can do, so you don't really need to look at Jack Grealish. So, and I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is he should be in the starting lineup. He should be a regular fixture, shouldn't he?
I would have thought so, yeah. I mean, personally, I think he's a wonderful talent. When I said earlier on, about the trust, especially out of possession, that I think Gareth wanted in this game. And they're the decisions he's going to have to make. And the gambles, it's not a gamble because Grealish is so good, but in terms of what he gives you, and Gareth wants to be very solid defensively. There's no doubt about that. He's shown that throughout his whole management, that he does want a solid team that are hard to beat. But when you've got a talent such as Jack Grealish, I mean, there will be, I'm sure we haven't seen, but I'm sure social media will be lots of people saying he has to play. Why hasn't he started? Because he made such an injection into the side when he came on.
Yeah, he's probably man of the match, even though he came on in the second half. I was jotting down things, and I put Harry Kane's not winning anything. He wasn't winning any balls that were being pumped up to him when England were under the cosh. Where is Tammy Abraham? Kane equals, and I can't give you the word I've written down there. I don't think he had a great game. Listen, he's an England legend already. He's up to 50 goals, and he scored the penalty. But we knew that, well, we were told by Gareth that we're going to see Tammy Abraham. Well, that's 2 games down and we still haven't seen him, so yeah, we probably will see him. But with the performance Kane was putting in, and I appreciate he's got the goal and he's reliable from the spot, but I just thought it was made for something that little bit different when we were struggling to hit the back of the net. And I'm puzzled by Gareth Southgate's ideas when it comes to substitutions and starting lineups.
I'm not in terms of the Kane situation. He's not once shown that he's going to pull him off.
He's going to keep him on all the time, even if he looks shattered.
He's never shown that he's going to take him off. Never. He fully trusts Kane that he will come good at some point in the game late on. Now, I know he's got the penalty, and to be fair, he won the penalty. That is, we just have to accept that in the big moments, in the tight moments, in the pressurised moments, he is not going to pull Harry Kane off. But again, I think, you know, that'll be the things that are talked about, is the substitutions, the starting lineup, the system. It wasn't convincing enough yet for anything to be cemented for Gareth Southgate.
Yeah, I'm just looking at other areas for England. We'll get England reaction, if not on this show, in the Sports Bar coming up with Andy Goldstein and Darren Ambrose. 03717223344. The pitch is emptied here at the Allianz Arena. The Germany players did a little lap of honour in front of the Bavarian fans here. Harry Kane was the last to go down the tunnel for England after doing a quick TV flash interview. We will get reaction from the England camp on TalkSport between now and the end of the night. There's no question about that. Faye Carruthers, our England correspondent, will be talking to players and also talking to Gareth Southgate to get his reaction as well. But that's significant. What you're talking about with Gareth Southgate being so relieved and celebratory at the final whistle. When you're not playing well, we didn't play well Saturday, a little bit better tonight, but there'll be a lot of criticism of the performance. When you're not playing well, particularly in a tournament, if you get a result, that's all that matters, isn't it? And he's shown there's a little bit of character there tonight, and there's quality off the bench. He's shown, this England side has shown they've still got something together with Gareth Southgate in charge.
And ultimately, he knows he's going to be judged on that.
Yeah.
He does. You know, he's talked about that in interviews over his tenure, that ultimately he knows the England fans want to win. And when we get to tournaments, we want to progress as far as we can by winning by any means necessary, and they've done it again tonight in terms of getting a result for their manager. He was very relieved. But the question for you, Aid, in terms of what are we going to take from these two games? Because yes, they've equalised, but there's, you know, there was moments there where both me and you were throwing our arms up and down because it was so frustrating, and it was the same in Budapest. There's still a lot to be ironed out. There's still a lot of questions to be answered, and there's been some poor performances still.
They have. What are we going to take out of it? I think we look better with a back four than a back three, which I didn't think was going to be the case. I know that you did. I thought that there were plenty of positives about playing a back three. It didn't work the other night, and we played better with a back four against a very established European side tonight. I think we saw in the last 20 minutes that Jack Grealish on the left and Sterling at 10 works much more effectively than having Mason Mount at 10, the way that Mason's playing at the moment. I'm not decrying what he's done for England or the season that he's had. But he hasn't played well in these two games. I think Jarrod Bowen again showed up well coming on. That England can create chances in more fluid moves if they play with a better tempo. That we've seen some individual performances that weren't good, but players have been able to bounce back very quickly. I think Jude Bellingham tonight did well after being really disappointing the other night. That England looked sound, but they have the resilience to be able to bounce back from adversity. We've seen that in the big picture and the small. Tonight, getting back from 1-0 down with a bigger picture, being able to take a positive result from here, having lost in Hungary. But we've also seen we're not a side that are going to win the World Cup playing like that. There has to be wholesale improvement. And we've always talked about friendlies and Nations League games. And these Nations League games, you put it perfectly earlier, they're friendlies with benefits, really. It was a wonderful phrase that you used, of having the ability to be able to learn on the job. There's no point in playing all these games, winning them comfortably, and then you don't really know. You haven't had any questions answered. We're having questions answered all the time. You might not get the answers you like, but there are pieces of the jigsaw going in. So I think that it has been a worthwhile exercise. England still have to improve in the two home games that are coming up, but things will be more cemented in Gareth's mind than they were, and that has to be a positive.
And commentator tonight, Jim Proudfoot, Dean Ashton, the former England striker, alongside him. Laura Woods and Ali McCoy will be on breakfast tomorrow from 6. Former England striker Gabby Agbonlahor joins in at 8. Sports Bar next takes your calls on TalkSport 03717223344. TalkSport live tonight in Munich as England get off the mark in the Nations League, and on we go go to Wolves, where England will need to show more bite. England weren't great again. At times it looked like they didn't even know how to make a substitution. But Harry Kane got his 50th England goal this evening from the spot in a 1-1 draw. In a week of royal celebrations, King Harry came to the rescue.
And he now puts the ball down, and he has the chance to become the quickest England player to 50 goals in their international history, or break Wayne Rooney's record by a year and 5 days if he can put this away. It's Kane against Neuer, right-footed. He sends it into the bottom left-hand corner. A half-century for Harry Kane, an equalising goal for England. Germany won, England won, and there's a little bit of history for England's Captain Fantastic.
As another big weekend of football kicks off, stay on the ball with Game Day Breakfast on TalkSport. And make sure you're fully prepped for all the day's sporting action with all the latest form, odds and expert speculation ahead of the big games with the Coral Weekend favourite. Every Saturday morning from 6 on Game Day Breakfast on TalkSport with Coral. Play Coral's Football Super Series game for free. Predict match stats on this week's big game and you can win a share of the monthly £25,000 jackpot. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Get Wix 2.4 metre premium deck board. Was £11, now £9. Offer ends Wednesday. Be house proud with Wix. Terms apply.
Good evening, night workers. This is the last train home, calling us a job well done and ready for bed via 6 McNuggets or a warm apple pie. Our final destination, as always, is home. Plenty of McDonald's restaurants are open late tonight. See mcdonalds.com for opening times.
Wouldn't it be nice to keep hold of things you'd normally lose? Your keys, your purse, your train of thought. Sorry, or your mobile data. Because with most other networks, you get to the end of the month and your data is, well, never to be seen again. But unlike anyone else, Sky Mobile rolls your spare data for up to 3 years, so you can keep hold of what you've paid for. Sky Mobile. Hello, possible.
See sky.com/mobile for terms.
Same plans as last weekend. And the one before. And the one before that. Or are you reserved for more? Reserve soldiers from your area are learning new skills every week in a team that will be by their side for years. Do more, help more, be more. With paid part-time roles from 19 days a year. Army Reserve. Be the best.
Car owners, do you want the good news or the good news? Well, the good news is that Go Compare have now refunded over £2.5 million under their free excess cover deal. The other good news is that Go Compare now offer a deal like that on home insurance. So whether you're after insurance or insurance, it's nothing but good news from Go Compare. Excess refunded after claim settled. Exclusions and T's and C's apply.
All roads lead to your nearest Arnold Clark this weekend. Get one of 3 amazing free road trip rewards when you buy a used car. Choose from an overnight stay for 2, a £50 Amazon.co.uk gift card, or a Road Angel Halo Go dashcam. It's road trip rewards at Arnold Clark, and it starts this Friday. See arnoldclark.com.
When it comes to quality paints, Valspar Trade delivers on all fronts. With its advanced water-based technology, Valspar Trade is easy to apply, with a Class 1 scrub rating, stain resistance and the perfect spray consistency. Right now, there's 20% off our ready-mix paints at your local trade point. Plus, if you have a Trade Point loyalty discount, you'll get this on top. So there's never been a better time to try Valspar Trade. Valspar Trade, formulated for the perfect finish. Offer available until 26th of May, only from Trade Point at B&Q and online. Visit valspartrade.co.uk for more details.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave.
Online, on your mobile, on the app.
TalkSport.
Powered by fans.
On DAB Digital Radio and 1089 and 1053 AM. The Sports Bar on TalkSport.
All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening.
Hello, my friends.
friends, good evening to you. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another Andy Goldstein Sports Bar with me, Andy Goldstein, and the former Premier League superstar alongside me, the wonderful Darren Ambrose. Darren, good to see you.
Thank you, and you. What's that mean?
There's a joke I can't even make at 1 minute past 10, but you can make your own ones up at home. We are, of course, reacting to that game tonight that finished Germany 1, England 1. What did you make of England's performance? Was it a penalty or not? What did we learn from it? Should players like Jack Grealish and Jude Bellingham start, etc., etc.? We're looking back at England tonight. All you need to know is the number to pick up the phone and dial in. It's a free call as well. 03717 223344. That number again is 03717 223344. It's only Channel National Radio. Take your calls Monday to Friday from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. It's Andy Goldstein Sports Bar. We're live on YouTube as well, don't you know? Oh yes, we are. We're live on YouTube. We'll take your calls in just a moment, but I am told we have to go straight over to TalkSport's England correspondent Faye Carruthers. She has alongside her Kieran Trippier. Faye.
I certainly do. Kieran, a draw in the end, a point. Do you think that you deserved that in the end?
Yeah, I think we do. I think overall, if we look back at the game, I thought we created some great chances tonight. Obviously, we knew it was going to be difficult coming to a place like this. We had to handle the pressure. We knew Germany was going to, have the ball and create chances, and it's how we dealt with that. And I thought we did, and I thought we shown great character to come from 1-0 down at a place like this, and unfortunately we didn't nick the win.
How crucial was it not to have back-to-back defeats, bearing in mind the performance was so heavily criticised in Hungary?
Yeah, coming here, it was just how we respond from that defeat, which we had to show great personality, a character as a team. And test ourselves against a Germany side. That's what we want to do. We want to play against the best, and I thought we coped with it tonight. Of course, at times we had to handle the pressure, like I said, and I thought we done well. And the most important thing, we're coming in after the game disappointed we didn't take the 3 points.
You were playing in a more advanced position on the left-hand side with Kyle Walker, almost playing in a 3.
Yeah.
Do you feel more comfortable? Everybody's talked about the systems. It was 3 against Hungary, is 4 against Germany, but you were able to get up front. How comfortable did you feel tonight?
To be honest, I'm absolutely delighted to play anywhere for England. So, no, but if I play left back a bit higher or right back, I think everybody knows the type of character I am. Wherever I play on the pitch, I try and do my best. But yeah, we try to play walks a bit higher, me coming in inside and keeping Raz wide, but. It's about adapting. Germany, they changed formation like 3 times during the game, and it's how we deal with that, how we recognise that. And yeah, I'm just absolutely delighted to be here to represent my country. It's a huge honour.
Substitutes made a massive difference.
Huge. No, huge. You see the talent that we've got throughout the squad, and it was always going to be important against Germany, against teams like this. Everybody has to be ready. Everybody has to know the roles. And I thought Jack was outstanding when he came on. And I think the talent that he's got, he can change a game. So, we're all absolutely delighted with how this sub's impacted the game.
Yeah, and
behind the scenes, and it's an absolute joy. And hopefully there's many more goals for Harry. But yeah, a top striker. For me, one of the best in the world.
Will there be any celebrations for half a century?
I don't think so. I think Harry's one of those where he's professional. He always wants to score, and he's always thinking about the next game. So he's a top pro, and he's got a couple more goals to go.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much,
Thank
Kieran.
you very much. Thank you.
Good work as always, Faye Carruthers. I'm sure we'll be going back to Faye when she's got other England players and maybe even the England manager alongside her. I've got alongside me Darren Ambrose. We are, of course, reacting to that game that finished Germany 1, England 1. It was live on TalkSport. You can have your say simply by picking up the phone and dialing in 03717 223344. Lots of people want to have their say. We'll get to the lines in a moment, but you and I should have a brief chat.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first or second?
I will go first.
Okay.
It was a clear penalty for me. Now, I'm seeing a lot of people on social media, on the messages, I'm sure we'll get callers saying, how was that not given offside? Now, unfortunately, the laws of the game are the things that need to be changed. And where Grealish has cut inside, he's tried to feed Sterling. At that particular moment, Kane standing in offside position, but it's not been played directly to Harry Kane, so he's not interfering with that bit of play. It then the defender makes a deliberate attempt to try and intercept the pass, and unfortunately...
Let me just stop you there for one moment, because we can hear from the goal scorer. He got his 50th goal tonight. Harry Kane is alongside Faye Carruthers.
Harry, congratulations. In the end, you got the point, but talk me through the penalty kick. You knew it was for a half a century. As journalists, we spoke about this the other day. We're going to keep talking about it.
Yeah, no, it was a really tough game, of course. You know, you're playing one of the top nations in the world, and obviously to go a goal behind was a little bit hard to take, but I think it showed the character in the squad. I think we probably played our best football in that last kind of half hour of the game. Physically, I felt we were strong, created some good chances at the end, and obviously nice to put that penalty away and get to that 50 mark and help the team as much as possible.
Will you celebrate it, or is it straight on to the next now?
I think it's on to the next one. You know, I've always said obviously fantastic achievements to have, but we've got another big game on Saturday that we've got to dust ourselves down and get ready for. So I'm sure all these things, you know, when I'm old and grey, I'll kind of look back and take in. But for now, it's just trying to help the team recover well and get ready for the next one.
How important was it not to lose this game tonight?
Yeah, I think really important. I think obviously we know we had a very disappointing night the other night in Hungary. And to show the character we did to get a result away in Germany is really good and really pleasing to see, you know, especially when you go a goal behind. So we've got to keep working. We know we've got improvement to be had, but it shows we're in a good sign. I feel like, especially towards the end of the game, we had chances to win it. So, you know, Germany's a good level to see where we're at, and I feel like we're in a good place.
You scored against Germany in the Euros. You scored against them in 2016 in Berlin as well. Like scoring against the Germans. It's sometimes you have a team that you manage to score against. I probably should have had a couple more, if I'm honest, you know. The one in the first half, and then obviously Neuer made a good save in the second half towards the end. But you just got to keep putting yourself in those positions, and hopefully one falls through, and thankfully the penalty did today. Just one final question. It's a weird one because it's something that we were talking about in commentary. That's only your second goal in the Nations League in 14 appearances. What is it about this competition? You're so prolific in every other competition. Yeah, it's strange. I don't really know, you know. It's like when you play for your club, sometimes you have a cup that it just don't quite fall through like it does in another one. So hopefully I can try and turn that around. You know, we have a couple more games this camp, then 2 more in September. So I'm a player who wants to score in every game and wants to do my best in every game. So that's what I try and focus on, no matter what the competition. So I'll keep going out there and trying to score as much as I can. Congratulations on your half century, Harry. Take care. Safe journey back.
Faye, is he still there? Can you ask him one question? Is he still there, Faye?
No, he's gone to somebody else, Andy. Sorry.
Okay. All right, no problem. Well done. We'll come back to you in a moment. I've got Darren Ambrose alongside, as I said. Go on, just sum up England before we go to the final.
It wasn't great tonight. A little bit boring. Obviously, they come back from the goal down. I think Germany deserved to win that game, if I'm honest. I think Jack Grealish made a difference when he come on. I felt he played well. So that shows me, why don't we start with our attacking flair? That, you know, Jack Grealish needs to play for me. Look, Pickford should have saved the goal as well, and I think that's the first mistake Pickford's made that's led to a goal in his England career, not his Everton career, but his England career. Germany were better; they should have won. It was disappointing, but got a draw in the end. So that's the one positive you can take out of tonight.
Yeah, I agree with everything you've said, actually. I was pleased for Harry Kane to get his 50th goal. I don't think he got to too many balls throughout the match, but, you know, he scored from the penalty spot with him to do that. I thought Jude Bellingham, when he came on, was fantastic. I thought Gerrard Bowen, even though he was only on the pitch for 10 minutes, he looked really sprightly and exciting. Yeah. I agree with you with Jack Grealish. He's got to start. I'm a big fan of Mason Mount, but I just think I'd prefer him. I don't get why, we make the substitutes that we make so late in the game. Bowen came on with 10 minutes to go, Grealish with 18. If we're losing the game, let's try and do something. We did it, of course, at the Euros, late substitutions. It never worked. So I think I'd like to see earlier substitutions made. I thought England played better. We played 3 at the back against Hungary. We played 4 tonight. I think we look more comfortable with 4 at the back. I also wonder whether or not the 4 we saw today, as in Walker, Stones, Maguire, Trippier, with Pickford in goal, the 5 then, if that is his first choice back 5.
Yep. I do wonder as well, exactly what you said, why he doesn't make substitutions a little bit early when you're losing. Sterling, Saka, probably not their greatest of games today. Why not change it earlier? Try and get back into the game sooner. If we got back into the game sooner, maybe 55, 60 minutes, we'd have a chance to maybe win the game, albeit a poor performance. You'd be coming away with a victory, but seems to stick with players even though they're playing well. And by the way, look, Harry Kane, delighted that he got his 50 goal. I'm not saying take him off, but Tammy Abraham, what's he got to do to get on the pitch? I don't understand.
I didn't get that.
You're 1-0 down against Hungary, he doesn't come on. You're 1-0 down today, he doesn't bring him on. Leave Kane on, but change the formation, play 2 up top, you know. He just doesn't change it enough.
I don't think we can learn too much into the game against Hungary in Budapest. The game tonight, the players are tired, you know, they're in the middle, or, you know, they come... they've come off the back of a very, very long season. I know Liverpool players didn't play, but still, all these players have been playing for a long, long time. They need a bit of a break. They've got the World Cup coming up. I wouldn't judge too much on tonight's performance as to how we're going to do in the World Cup. I wouldn't read too much into that.
I know what you're saying though, but this could have, if this was the World Cup in the summer, we'd be out in the groups. So saying you're tired, look, we've got a huge squad of talented players. So utilise the squad.
If that was a World Cup match, I just feel it would have... Maybe it was at 70% tonight, 80%. I wouldn't read too much into it. The only thing I'd read into are tactical decisions. So for argument's sake, I like 4 at the back rather than the 3. The fact that we made substitutions too late. You know, these sort of things that are irrelevant of when the game is being played, I think can be bettered.
We've got no left-back as well. But Kieran Trippier does a job. Of course it does. There's no balance. There's no balance of the side. And it showed against Hungary more than tonight. Kieran Trippier does a good job at left-back, but he's not a left-back. Now, our best defender is Kyle Walker. Out of all 4.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's our best defender in the England squad. But I just think we're unbalanced when you've got a right-back playing left-back. Why Tyrick Mitchell hasn't been picked, we've said this before. Pick someone else, a Rico Henry, to give him an opportunity, to allow him to look at a left-back if Chilwell and Shaw's not available. Is he saying if Chilwell and Shaw's not available come the World Cup, we're going to be playing 3 right-backs per game? It's just not going to work.
Let's go to the phone line, shall we? 03717223344. By the way, before I go to the phone lines, if for one moment I say, hold on, wait 1 sec, we've got to go back to Faker, I will come back to you. So do not worry too much about that. Let's speak to Reese. He's a West Ham fan. He's dialed us on 03717223344. You can do the same. Hello, Reese. Good evening.
Right, guys, how you doing?
We're good, very well. Are you okay?
Yeah, didn't really enjoy that game tonight. I thought it was a bit of I don't know, there's no urgency from anyone. There's a lot of sideways passing, no one being brave on the ball, especially Saka and Sterling. That was awful for them to... I think in a game like against Germany away, like physical, defenders, like you need someone like Bowen. He's a bit rugged. He's played it non-league. You see what he done in 8 minutes was more than Saka done in the whole game. Not just because I'm a West Ham fan. I thought Grealish was amazing when he come on as well. I feel like Southgate, he's got his favourite. I don't want to be that guy who slags off Mason Mount, but I don't see what he's done for England. He's good for Chelsea, great for Chelsea, but I've watched him in a few games for England now. He's not done one thing of note in any of the games, is he? Really?
Well, I don't think there'll be too many people that disagree with you. I don't think there'll be too many people that would say they'd pick Mount over Grealish at either club or international level. I'm a fan of Mount, but I think Jack Grealish gives us that little bit of something that perhaps no one else does.
Mount plays, Reece. Mount plays because he has a defensive responsibilities, and I think Southgate can trust his defensive game, which goes back to he's too defensive.
But if you've got Rice and Phillips, you don't need that, do you?
We know we don't. We know I'd rather play Grealish in there, and it's not against Mount. I think Mount's a great player, but I'd rather have... If you've got 2 deep-lying midfielders, why do you need a midfielder in front of them that's more defensive-minded than attacking?
I thought our defence was a bit of an issue tonight as well. I looked over the place. It was like a zigzag, straight line at any point, was it?
Yeah, first off, we were appalling. We really were.
Maguire, again... I've got nothing against Maguire, but he's in a bad run of form. And as Eric Dyer not getting over him at the moment, he's much better. Do you
not think Dyer plays better in a 3?
He does, but I think Maguire at the minute, do you think he looks like Bambi on ice? It's unbelievable. It's like, he just don't look right. He needs like a bit of a break. He don't look right on the pitch to me than Maguire.
I would. Maguire plays better in a 3 as well. Let's be honest. But I'd be playing Kyle Walker in the 3, and I'd be putting Trippier on the right. And I said,
Trent.
I would on tonight's performance. I said we looked unbalanced, which I still think we did. But Trippier had a great game, and Kyle Walker's our best defender. So you have to find a place for those players.
Did you find a place for Trent?
At the moment, no.
Okay,
I wouldn't.
Let's speak to Larry, who's a Man United fan. Thanks, Reece. Hello, Larry.
Hey, you all right?
I'm good. You all right?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Should we just keep asking how each other are, or should we talk about the game?
Yeah.
How are you, Larry? You all right, mate?
Wake up, Larry.
Yeah, I'm awake. I'm ready.
You sound tired. Is that what watching England does?
That game put you asleep?
Oh, man, it's got me a bit stressed out, but I won't let it get the better of me. You know what I mean?
Go on, talk to me.
Yeah, to be honest, it was a poor performance, you know what I mean? I don't know how we can really change it. To be honest, it's the easy option, but I reckon Southgate is not really up to it, to be honest. But
what would you do? Would you sack him now, Larry?
It's a hard decision because we've got the World Cup coming up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like realistically, I don't think we could sack him now.
Would you?
Do you not think he deserves an opportunity again? 2 tournaments, a semi-final and a final.
Yeah, he done well last tournament, but to be honest, I feel like we should have won that. Like, Italy was that was a mediocre team. If we're being honest, their best player was their centre backs.
What would you do then, Larry? If you're in charge right now, come down to you. Get rid or keep?
It's quite hard to be honest, because I'll be honest, but Bellingham and Rice need to start as the holding midfielders.
Okay.
Maguire needs to come out of the team. But that's easy saying Maguire needs to come out of the team, but I don't know who we'd replace him with. But I don't think Trippier deserves to start a left back. To be honest, I feel that's more in his name.
Do you?
Yeah,
I
know you lot rate Trippier and he had a good game, but I don't feel that he really deserves to start. If I'm being honest.
Okay, Larry, thanks for that. Let's quickly go to Charlie, the Oxford fan. Hello, Charlie.
Evening, chaps. You all right?
Excellent. Good, thanks. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I just wanted to say that I'm going to war with that Larry who was just on previously. Gareth Southgate will be the first man since 1966 to win us a World Cup, and you heard it here first.
Well, Charlie, can I be honest with you, right?
Go on.
I've been doing this job now for 15 years, right?
Right.
I have started seasons with Liverpool fans telling me they're going to win the quadruple. I've started the seasons with England fans telling me we're going to win the World Cup of the Euros. Okay?
Yeah, I bet you've heard it before.
And I'm not being rude, but I mean, when a football fan says that, I love it, right? Because it shows the passion and, you know, you're back in the team. But it's based on just nothing.
No, but mine is based... No, listen. So we've been in the Euro final. We've been in the Nations League semi-final a few years ago. And we were in the World Cup semi-final. There was a common theme in the final and the semi-final where we scored early and we sat back and we let them put the pressure on. We conceded goals and we lost the game. And on penalties. I think this year is the year we learn from that and we go... And there's no reason why we're one of the biggest nations in the world in terms of football, right? We have some of the best talents. Who's to say we can't beat France?
Did you watch Hungary?
I did watch Hungary.
But what evidence, Charlie, what evidence have you got from the Hungary game and the game tonight that he is going to change his philosophy?
Now, this is what I wanted to say. This is all reactionary, though, because every single tournament we have, people come on and will say stuff like, Southgate out, it's boring football before the tournament. We get to the tournament, and then everyone's up in arms about how good he is because he's got us to a final, a semi-final. We've beaten Germany, Colombia on penalties. So who's to say we can't go the one further this year? Who's to say that?
No, listen, I'd love England to win it as much as you would. But to say you heard it here first, we're going to win, it doesn't mean anything. I don't think if push comes to shove, we'll beat the big heads, Brazil, Argentina.
It's a brave
France.
prediction, Charlie. After losing to Hungary and then a mediocre performance today, okay, we got the draw. I feel if this was in a tournament, a proper tournament football, Germany would have easily won that game.
What, just like they did in the Euros?
It's a
different team, though.
But it's not the point, though. We've shown that we can go and beat those bigger teams. We beat Spain 3-2. The only team I'd see us struggling against, like we did today, are against France, Brazil, and maybe Belgium.
Argentina?
No.
We beat Argentina, will we?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that Gareth Southgate knows either his best back five or his best midfield or his best attack?
Everyone slates Harry Maguire, and I understand it. I do. But I think there's a big mistake in not having Tomori in this team. I think he's being overlooked purely because he's in Italy. And if he was performing like he was here in the Premier League, he'd be in that England team.
Who, Tomori?
Yeah.
He's injured, I think, at the moment. I think he would be playing some part.
He hasn't been in the England squad before.
No,
but he's called him up because he's been, I think, the defender in Italy.
Yeah, the best defender in Italy. He would if he wasn't injured, he would definitely be playing some part.
Won the league title as well.
I hope so.
Yeah, he's not been overlooked. I think everyone knows how good a player he is.
Unfortunately, I think it would be next to Maguire, though. I think they'd take Stones out or the other defender. I think Maguire would be the stalwart. He'd be the one that playing all the time.
But this is my issue with the whole thing about Maguire. Is he performs bad for Man United, I can accept that. I understand it. Just think of the Euros. I think he got man of the match against Germany. I think he was in the team of the tournament. Well, it's the same with Pickford. When they play for England, they perform and they're consistent. Just because they don't do it for their clubs, if they do it for us, that's all that matters.
Do you think Pickford was at fault for the goal tonight?
I'll be honest, 100%. I did not see the first goal.
Oh.
I did miss it. But
a bit like Pickford.
Pardon?
A bit like the goalkeeper. He missed it as well.
Yeah, but like you know what I'm saying though. Like the performance again, I'll go back to the Euros against Germany. Some of the saves he made in that game were unbelievable.
Yeah, no, listen, I won't argue with that. For England, he does raise his game, as does Maguire. But I love Harry Maguire. He plays for the club I support. But tonight he looked a little bit shaky again.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Yeah.
Okay, you've no doubts we're going to win the World Cup, right, Charlie?
No, we've done it. We're going to win.
We've done it already, have we?
Yeah.
Have you lumped on?
Huh?
Have you lumped on?
Yeah, I will be.
Oh, you haven't yet, though. You're not. The money's still in the wallet, is it?
I'll whack a $5 on it.
Oh, okay, that's confidence. Put a £1 down for me, Charlie, all right?
All right.
Thanks for phoning. Thanks for listening to the show. There you go, Charlie, the Oxford fan. Already confident England are going to win the World Cup. I think it's a little bit too early for that, but listen, you can have your Sound National Radio simply by picking up the phone and dialing in at 03717 223344. Let's speak to Richie. I think that's how you pronounce it. Is that Richie? Is that right?
Yeah, right, mate. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Cheers. Mate, I am so bored of Gareth Southgate right now and so bored of England. I'm looking at the squad tonight and I'm bored of it. We have got an efficient team who will qualify for championships, will get through to quarter-final, semi-final, but they will not win a championship.
What makes you say that, though?
It's a big ask to make. We will not win it.
Mate, they don't take risks. They do not take risks. They will not play the flair players. They will not play them. We've seen it. Let me go back to South Africa when Rooney was gobbing off before. Remember that? We've seen it when we played Iceland.
What do you mean Rooney was gobbing off? What do you mean?
Well, you know what I mean, don't you?
What, after the final whistle?
Yeah, but you've seen that. You know, the manager would not take risks then before Southgate and all that. But then you go on to Southgate's era.
Sorry, I don't. I'm really not being rude. But when you say Rooney was being gobby, what's that got to do with England not taking risks? I don't get the connection.
Well, I'll tell you what. England have got a squad which the managers seem to play their players that are within the team and they like to play. They have a captain, obviously, that obviously controls what the team is, what the manager does. I can see your face right now. Go on.
I don't know what you mean. I don't know. You've got a captain that controls the team and the way it plays.
Yeah, mate.
The manager chooses the tactics, the formation, the substitutions, everything, right?
Harry Kane's scored, 50 goals now, has he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't exactly inspire me as an England fan now, right?
Who doesn't?
Look in that team now. Where is the Michael Owens? Where is the Gerrard?
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane's better than Michael Owen.
He's going to smash the all-time goal score record for England. He's England's greatest forward in my era.
Yeah, and he's your greatest goal scorer in your era. But what does he do for an England team? What does he do?
He wins games. He scores goals.
He scores goals.
Is he a striker for a World Cup team and a European Championship team? No, he's not. No, he's not.
Well, what did Michael Owen win for England?
He didn't, but he's a risk taker, isn't he? He will create goals.
Kane's got more England goals.
Mate, I was watching when Germany were playing today, right? Harry Kane was in a left-back position, and we knew what you're doing. You remember when we were playing against Iceland, or whoever it was, and he was taking corners, and he was coming back defence. Everything is revolved around Harry Kane. Why? The reason why we haven't got a backup for Harry Kane is because everything is revolved around him.
It's because he's our best player. He's England's best player.
Wasn't it Harry Kane Richie? Wasn't it Harry Kane that squared? Hold on, Richie. Wasn't it Harry Kane that squared the Richie? Wasn't it Harry Kane that squared the ball to Son at Anfield that allowed Spurs to score, which basically stopped you winning the league?
Yeah, but where are Spurs in the league and how many goals?
Hold on 1 second, we'll come back to you in a moment, Richie. But Faye Carruthers, our England correspondent, is with the England manager, Gareth Southgate.
I certainly am. Gareth, how do you assess that performance, the result? How crucial is it not to have had back-to-back defeats?
Well, yeah, that's one of the things that we challenged the players with over the last couple of days. If we want to be a big team, then you have to respond to those sorts of defeats. And if we were in a tournament situation, you're under huge pressure to deliver. So we built that scenario for them. Of course, once you go behind, then that's the ultimate test of that as well. So I thought the performance through the 90 minutes was pretty good. I thought the first half we showed enough moments where we could get the other side of their midfield and we looked really dangerous, but the quality of our passing let us down. There were times we could release people, we didn't make the right pass. There were times we were going back to the goalkeeper, the detail on the pass wasn't right. So we did challenge them to say, look, you're well in the game, you can see what's possible, but we've got to raise the level. Of course, within 2 or 3 minutes, the other side of our game wasn't quite right. We were a little bit passive for that period where they build up for the goal. Top quality pass, so that's the test you get against the best teams. Now we're behind, and there's a huge challenge for us. But I thought the response to that challenge was excellent. That period from then on was our best attacking phase in the game. I think we created more than enough to deserve something from the game. And in actual fact, there's a ball that flashes across the box at 1-1 that Harry probably, you're expecting him to slide it in. So I thought, given the type of game, the quality of the opponent, the fact we're away from home, there was a lot of positive for us to take from it.
Yeah, there's a lot to critique as well, but we'll start with the positive in terms of Harry Kane himself. 50 goals for England, the fastest player to reach that as well. Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible stat. The fact that he's so calm in that moment is an outstanding attribute to have. But his all-round game as well, his link play improved as the game went on. He led the pressing from the front, which was very important for us. And there are times when the ball's played into him where he connects the game and relieves the pressure on you as a team and puts other people in that, I think sometimes we take for granted. So, I'm delighted, for him that he got to the 50 now. The substitutions made a massive difference. What in particular did Jack Grealish bring to the game? Because he looked superb when he came on. Yeah, well, of course, the game by that point is opening up, and that freshness, I think, not only Jack, but putting Raheem behind Harry gave us that zip in transition as well. So it creates the space for Jack on the other side, and Jarrod Bowen similarly I thought did really well. So we've got a good squad. We've got, I thought, all four of the wingers did a good job for us, and that freshness in being able to make those changes is really important. Then there was a moment where we thought we might see Reece James. You'd obviously already made 3 substitutions. Was there just a bit of confusion over the rules, a miscommunication? What happened? No, well, because of course we had the Phillips one in the first half. That was the problem. So we were just thinking of refreshing the left back situation, given that Kieran has been out for a long time. But we didn't have a problem with how we were playing in that area, but we just thought it might be important with the speed they had. But did you not realise that you'd already made 3? You'd forgotten the Calvin Phillips one? No, we actually are. That's why we asked the question, because we were wanting to do that, but we also knew that, hang on a minute, we've had the one in. We were trying it on, really. So. Didn't succeed. They were quick to you. Almost did. How is Calvin, by the way? I mean, disappointing to lose him so early in the game. How much did that change your game plan? Well, it was a great test for Jude coming into it, because he's a different type of player, and of course the space that Musiala especially was finding coming inside, we knew that was a critical area. So it's not ideal in any way, shape or form to lose a really important player after 15-20 minutes. Hopefully it's not too bad. It's quite a severe dead leg, so hard to know how long that will be. But it meant that there was another brilliant opportunity for Jude to go into a game like that, and those experiences can only improve him. You mentioned Germany's goal in the first half.
Jordan Pickford's getting quite a lot of criticism. He made 2 fantastic saves, at least 2 in the second half. How do you assess his contribution to that goal? Could he have done better?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because, your first instinct is yes, but I've had a couple of goalkeepers message me already saying, well, not so sure. They thought the swerve of the ball, and of course keepers are going to stand up for each other, but
the union.
So look, I know we would look at it and be a little bit disappointed with it, but his all-round game was very solid, and his performances for us have been incredible. So I thought he made a really important save. There was a 1v1 where he came flying out. I think it was Werner after he came on. So look, we were disappointed with that, but he's been exceptional for us.
Just one final question. We very rarely, if ever, see you lose your temper in the dugout. What happened towards the end of the game? I know you were frustrated because was it because Germany hadn't played the ball out when Jude was down on the floor?
Yeah, in simple terms, yes, it was. But that's the emotion of the moment, and we're wanting to respond to a disappointing defeat, and this was a big game for us. So, I know most of the time I keep my calm, but I am as emotional as everybody else, and I do want to win as much as everybody else. Just because I don't behave like a screaming banshee on the touchline sometimes doesn't mean that I care any less than other people.
No, you could tell, and it shows how important this victory was at the halfway point in this camp.
Yeah, well, a draw, not a victory, unfortunately.
Oh my goodness me! I did watch the same game as you, I promise.
No, I think, look, we're very aware that this series of games, you look at what all the countries around Europe are doing, there's lots of changes being made, people are challenging the players, they're conscious of the player welfare, but also a lot of teams are preparing for the World Cup, or in Italy's case, beyond that. So we've also got to consider that ahead of our next game, because what the players have left on the pitch tonight is phenomenal effort, and for a lot of them on the back of Saturday as well. So that's why we needed the freshness, because these games at this level, a game like tonight, I've played in games like this, and it takes absolutely everything to get a result.
Yeah, fingers crossed for Saturday. We'll see you back in the UK. Safe journey back.
Thank you, Faye.
Thank you, Gareth.
Cheers.
Faye, good work as always. There you go. That was the England manager, Gareth Southgate, and that's all we've got time for on tonight. Oh no, it's still only after. Listen, we're going to have a quick break. When we come back, we'll get your reaction to that, to England's performance. Of course, it was a draw 1-1 against the Germans. 03717223344. You're listening to the Sports Bar on TalkSport in partnership with MrQ.com, the no-nonsense casino. Over 18s only, begambleaware.org.
The Sports Bar on TalkSport with MrQ.com, the no-nonsense casino where all winnings are paid in cash.
TUI Blue Hotel booked. Holiday, here we come. Swim up room upgraded. A la carte dining, delish. Swimming lessons, nailed. Local culture, marvelled. Kids club, loved. Cooking class, mastered. Beach cabana, why not? Massage, bliss. Best holiday ever done. Introducing TUI Blue, our own collection of premium hotels designed for you to live happy at all protected.
The Sky Broadband Super Sale is here. You'll love our Super Fibre Special, back again at its lowest price. Just £25 a month. It comes with super fast speeds, our award-winning service, and amazing value at just £25 a month for 18 months. Now with a £19.95 setup fee. Out of contract? Switch today. Go to sky.com. Superfast 35 ends 16th of June, usually £30.50, £35.50 a month after 18 months. Prices may change. Average download speeds 36 megabits per second. See sky.com for details.
Thank you. Who says you can't mix business and pleasure? The American Express business card lets you earn points on everything you buy, from an inkjet printer to your online ad spend. Then use the points on something pleasurable, like converting the family garage into the home of old school garage, complete with mixing desks. Come correct with the mixing desks. Rewind. The card is for business. The points are for pleasure. Search Amex Business Card.
Terms apply. 18 plus subject to status. Annual fees apply. Basic card also available with no annual fee or benefits.
Get Wix 2.4 metre premium deck board. Was £11, now £9. Offer ends Wednesday. Be house proud with Wix. Terms apply.
manager's trying to bring down the government. We're going to change the world.
Smashing into Disney Plus. Pistol, a brand new original drama.
Our singer is fully insane. Our bass player starts fights for laughs. This is punk. Come see us play. We're awful. Ladies and gentlemen, Sex Pistols.
From director Danny Boyle, Pistol, now streaming exclusively on Disney Plus. 18 plus subscription required. T's and C's apply.
Hi, I'm Alan Brazil.
And I'm Ray Parlour.
We're taking our new live stage show on the road,
Sponsored by Arnold Clark. Join us for an evening of fun and laughter with tales from the studio, from the dressing rooms, and of course, Cheltenham.
TalkSport's Alan Brazil and Ray Parlour will be live in Newcastle and Nottingham. Get your tickets now from talksport.com/events.
That's him, Ray Parlour.
And him, Alan Brazil.
We'll see you there.
Car owners, do you want the good news or the good news? Well, the good news is that Go Compare have now refunded over £2.5 million under their free excess cover deal. The other good news is that Go Compare now offer a deal like that on home insurance. So whether you're after insurance or insurance, it's nothing but good news from Go Compare. Excess refunded after claim settled. Exclusions and T's and C's apply.
The Sports Bar on TalkSport with MrQ.com. Sign up for 20 free spins with your first deposit, with all winnings paid in cash. MrQ.com, the no-nonsense casino.
International cricket live over on TalkSport 2.
And he's nicked the next ball through to the keeper.
This Thursday afternoon from 2, TalkSport 2 brings you big-hitting live ball-by-ball commentary as India take on South Africa in the first T20 International, direct from the Arun Jaitley Stadium, New Delhi.
He's caught this time, though. Short, and at the body, and that's out.
India take on South Africa in the first T20 International this Thursday afternoon from 2, over on TalkSport 2.
This to get England back on level terms with 3 minutes of normal time to go. It's Kane against Neuer, right-footed. He sends it into the bottom left-hand corner. A half-century for Harry Kane. An equalising goal for England. Germany won. England won. And there's a little bit of history for England's Captain Fantastic.
Bit of Disco Tuesday. Bit of Disco Tuesday on the Sports Bar.
Love it, Stewie. Is it you? No, it's not you.
You like disco music?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
This is proper 70s, isn't it? Yeah,
this is your era.
I was about 40 when this was coming out. Keep your calls coming in 03717223344. Oh, turn it up. I thought the chorus was coming. The big You're not even listening to me.
Turn it down.
Why don't you turn it up?
No, it's Stewie. No, it's you.
Always good to fade it in on the words mighty real. I like it. We are reacting to England drawing 1-1 away at Germany. 03717223344. That draw coming on the back of Harry Kane scoring his 50th goal for England on the penalty spot with 2 minutes of normal time remaining. Kevin is a football fan. It just says football fan. Kevin, hello.
Hello.
Have you got the radio on behind you, Kev? I can hear a bit of feedback.
Sorry, turn the radio off. It's the TV, actually.
Oh, can you turn the telly off? Is that okay?
It's only, yeah, I listen to you on the TV.
Oh, okay. We can listen in your telephone now.
Yeah, no. Okay. I've been listening on that. I'm getting confused, totally.
That's all right. Kevin,
this is ahead.
It says on my screen you're a football fan, but not your team. Do you have one?
Oh, right. I'm going to have to say the only team I've really ever supported would be Coventry City. Don't laugh.
I won't, but that's why they put just football fan, not Coventry down.
Yeah. No, they didn't know that.
Okay.
Because I used to go and see that. I was there when they got promoted to the First Division in 1967 when they beat Wolves.
Okay.
So I'm a bit older than you boys, I think.
It was nice to speak to someone that's
maybe
older.
Not Andy.
I stopped going to football when I was actually then in I started playing rugby, unfortunately.
Okay.
Fortunately.
No,
we're on football now, aren't we?
Yeah. Did you go in 87, Kev?
No, I had to go. I had to get time off work.
Yeah.
For a family wedding. Would you believe, in Birmingham with Aston Villa fans?
Wow.
I know that's a bit embarrassing. My lad, who's now 35, was a baby in arms in them days, and first thing I said, and my wife was, God rest her soul, she passed away now, but I said to the lads there, look, I want to know where the television is because I know you'll be watching it, and I'll buy a round of drinks for you so I can go and watch it. So I used to go out and feed him and change it. I'd seen all of extra time, but only bits of the match. Unfortunately, yeah, I know. People when I was at work thought I know.
You won it.
But we won it. We won it.
You won it.
Snoz and the boys won it.
You beat Spurs. That's all that counts.
Yeah, I know. For a Man United fan, that must have really been good.
Go on then, Kev. What did you make of tonight's match?
Grealish came on. I know you boys love Grealish. I not particularly. Now, I'll be honest. I never used to like Raheem a lot because I used to think he fell over a hell of a lot. And then I've been converted round. Now, Grealish has got a lot to convert me to because I think he's totally overrated.
Do you not think he played well when he came on today, Kev?
Yes. Oh, yeah, when he came on, he played really well. I mean, at the moment, I can only see him as a super sub. I cannot see him starting on the grounds that whenever he started, if you look at what he's done in the Premier League with Man City, he cannot play for a team as much as he can. Yes, he put in some good crosses. He can. I think he's got the potential of being very, very good, but he's not a £100 million player as he stands there now.
But that's not his fault, Kev, is it?
No. He's being overrated by a lot of people. He's primarily now flip back to he would not have been in the Premier League last season if the goal line technology had worked at the very beginning of restart when that ball was pulled round the post. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, the very first game back. Someone forgot to plug VAR in.
I still think he would. He would have got a move.
He would have got a move, but he wouldn't have been £100 million. Somebody would have had him cheap as chips and maybe got him even better.
Yeah, but I understand why you're saying it, but the £100 million was a price tag that Villa put on him, knowing no one would pay it. And then when Man City went, we'll pay it, they were like, right, okay, fine, you can have him. But
didn't they get a good deal?
Yeah, but
they had to. It was a get out clause. They had to.
Let me ask you this, Kev: if he was if Man City bought him for $10 million, would your view of him be different?
Not if he was still being rated the way he is by all the pundits. I would still say he's possibly going to be a really good player. I think Bellingham and Mount and that are far better. I mean, I thought Bellingham. I know they are. I mean, when you start watching, during Project Restart and throughout the last of the season, I probably watch more football than you guys. Now, I don't mean that to be detrimental. And if you remember, I was the one that wanted Liverpool to win the quadruple just to wind you up.
Right.
And you thought I was a Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. You accused me because if you said if they were playing Man United, who would I want to win? And I would say Liverpool. You said Liverpool. I'm not. I'm a football fan through and through. I love watching football.
You're a Coventry fan. You told us earlier.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I can remember Franny Lee. Let's not go back to them days.
No. Kevin, let me ask you one question because I don't want to appear rude, but so many people have phoned up, but I don't want to just be rude. Let you go. Just quickly, with what you've seen tonight, where do you think England will finish up in the World Cup?
At the moment, I would say we'd definitely get out of the group, obviously, because if they don't, go play France in the quarterfinals, don't we? I've already worked it out.
It depends if we top the group and they come second or vice versa, but yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have to play them before the finals. If we come up against them, we're going to and beat them, we'll win it.
Okay, we'll win it. There you go. We've got there in the end. Thanks for that. Kev, you've changed it. That was annoying. We'll carry on taking calls in just a moment. 03717 22 You're listening to the Sports Bar and Talk Sport in partnership with MrQ.com. The no-nonsense casino, over 18s only, begambleaware.org.
The Sports Bar on Talk Sport with MrQ.com. The no-nonsense casino, MrQ.com. For the realist. Over 18s only, begambleaware.org.
Get Wix 2.4 metre premium deck board. Was £11, now £9. Offer ends Wednesday. Be house proud with Wix. Terms apply.
Introducing the new McPlant. It's everything you love about the McDonald's taste, only this time it's vegan. With the juicy and succulent patty, co-created with Beyond Meat. A delicious vegan cheese alternative, vegan sandwich sauce, juicy tomato, onions, crisp lettuce, and of course, gherkins. or not. The choice is always yours. It's our iconic taste, plant-based. For information about McPlant, visit mcdonalds.co.uk/McPlant. Served after 11 a.m, subject to availability.
Climate change hasn't won. We can bring life back. Download WWF's My Footprint app to find out how.
The new season of The Flight Attendant has landed on Now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard.
The critically acclaimed dark comedy.
When I woke up in the morning, he was so alive. I'm a crazy drunk flight attendant, not a killer.
Stream every episode of The Flight Attendant on Now.
What are you involved in, Cassie? I'm an asset for the CIA.
18 plus now membership required. Minimum speed 2.5 megabits per second. Terms apply.
All roads lead to your nearest Arnold Clark this weekend. Get one of 3 amazing free road trip rewards when you buy a used car. Choose from an overnight stay for 2, a £50 Amazon.co.uk gift card, or a Road Angel Halo Go dashcam. It's road trip rewards at Arnold Clark, and it starts this Friday. See arnoldclark.com.
It's the most epic rock and roll event in the sporting calendar. The Gallagher Premiership Rugby Finals, Saturday the 18th of June at Twickenham. See the biggest stars in world rugby do battle for the ultimate club prize. Experience world-class hospitality in the fan village with bars and entertainment, hosted by the famous Grouse, London Pride and more. Tickets on sale now at eticketing.co.uk/Premiership Rugby, or go to talksport.com for your chance to win a pair of VIP day passes. Over 18s only. Terms and conditions apply.
Magic is a place like nowhere else. Magic is Cinderella Castle and meeting Mickey and Minnie. Magic is yours at Walt Disney World Resort in Florida. Book your 2023 package by the 27th of July and receive up to $1,200 dining and merchandise credit per room. A 14-day ticket for the price of 7, plus $200 Disney spending money. Book now at tui.co.uk/Disney. Participating Disney Resort hotels for selected 2023 arrivals only. Conditions, exclusions and length of stay requirements apply.
Get an expert guide to all the latest speculation, signings and spending sprees with Simon Jordan's Football Business Roundup on TalkSport with Tesco Mobile for Business. From the latest deals worth knowing to where the big money transfers are going, get the inside track in one all-covering football finance feature. Simon Jordan's Football Business Roundup on TalkSport with Tesco Mobile for Business. Big mobile networks are raising your bills again. Join us for prices that stay fixed. Tesco Mobile. Every little helps. For applicable terms and verification, see tescomobile.com/fixed prices.
On DAB, online, and on your smart speaker. Talk Sport. Powered by fans.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't really know, you know. It's like when you play for your club, sometimes you have a cup that it just don't quite fall for you like it does in another one. So, yeah, hopefully I can try and turn that around. You know, we have a couple more games this camp, then 2 more in September. So I'm a player who wants to
I would say he's going to smash the record.
He will.
I think he'll get to 75, 80 goals for England.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I personally think if he stays fit, he'll break the Premier League record. And I played with the great man, Alan Shearer. He's up there for me, Harry Kane.
No, I can't dispute
absolutely
most of what
brilliant.
you said.
I think the best England forward.
Okay. Now we take calls on that as well. 0371722 3344. Let's speak to Al, who's a Man United fan. Hello, Al. Al?
Al.
Hi, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. You all right?
Yeah, fantastic. How are you?
I'm good, thank you for asking. What do you want to say?
I was just concerned about people phoning up about trying to get rid of Gareth Southgate at this moment in time. I'm a bit concerned about that, given that he's taken us to one semi-final, he's taken us to another final, and he's played against Germany, who have drawn 1-1 against Holland, who thrashed Belgium. He's drawn 1-1 against Italy, who won the Euros, and then he's drawn 1-1 tonight against England. So I think he's doing a good job.
It's just underwhelming, though, don't you think, Al? It's just an underwhelming against Hungary, underwhelming today. There's question marks over the tiredness. I get that. It's been a long season. But the tactics and the negative tactics, I think, is what everyone keeps coming to. So do you not... Would you be happy to go into a World Cup again with two defensive midfielders?
If he won the World Cup with two defensive midfielders, I'll be absolutely over the moon with that. As long as he wins, that's all I care about.
No, obviously, I mean, we're all in the same boat. The only thing I wouldn't sack Southgate, and I think what you said about him getting to the semi-final and the final proved a lot of people wrong. Yeah. But my only question marks are, and we saw it at the Euros, we've seen it tonight, is tactically substitutions either don't happen or they do, but too late. That's my only concern now.
But his substitutions got us a 1-1 draw against a team...
Yeah, but you could argue that if he made them earlier, we could have won it.
But you could also argue that if he'd done those substitutions, he'd also lost it.
Yeah, of course.
So,
of course.
And I can understand the negativity. I'm the same as you. I want all the flair players on there. I want the creativity. I think it's exciting. I'm just concerned about the back four are just not good enough. They're not international quality.
Which ones?
Who's not good enough?
I don't think Harry Maguire's good enough
for England or for Manchester United.
For both, to be honest with you, and the same with John Stones. I think they're both not up to international standard, or they're lacking confidence.
So who would you play? Who would your centre halves be?
Well, that's the difficulty, because there's not really many others that you can choose from. So you're going to have to go with the ones who are playing in the top six to get them in there. But I'm not sure that any of the quality of English centre-backs that play in the top six are actually worthwhile for international level.
I think those are the two that are carved in stone, excuse the pun, Stones and Harry Maguire. I think for Gareth Southgate, he's not going to change it now.
No, but the same as you've just said, I'm not sure who else you'd choose to put in there.
The only thing you could do to better that would be play three at the back and play maybe Trippier as part of the three. But I think England proved tonight they play better as a four than they did as a three against Hungary.
I don't think the three works. I don't think the three's good enough. And Trent Alexander is fantastic for Liverpool, but just didn't work the other night against Hungary.
You play three. You have for me, you have to play Walker at the back if you're playing three, because the other two are not the quickest. And Walker, we've seen him bail him out a few times. As one of the three. Right. If you go over three. But we've seen that before, and then he plays the two defensive midfielders. It just doesn't work for me. I don't think the problem you have as well with particularly Harry Maguire is there's talks at Manchester United whether they're going to have a vote for the captaincy. If he gets voted out of captaincy,
I don't think that won't happen. Where have you read that? That won't happen.
There's rumours that's going to happen. Eric Ten Hag's coming in. They're going to vote for the captaincy. If that takes place,
where have you read that? That's madness.
I've heard it. It was on TalkSport.
You've been reading the text.
No, it was on TalkSport.
Who said that? Danny Murphy, I bet.
It was. I think it was Crookie. It was Sam Matterface. And
of course, they're not going to vote for the captaincy.
This is what they're saying. Eric Ten Hag's come in. The captaincy's going to be voted because they were questioning obviously the manager. But if they do,
they won't.
And he
don't finish the sentence.
No, I'm going to.
No, they don't. How would anyone know?
There's both them players, Stones as well, potentially won't be playing for their clubs come November.
Yeah, they will. How would anyone at this stage know that Eric Ten Hag has decided...
Ask Sam Matterface.
How would he know? I'm asking you.
Well, I don't know how he'll know. He's got contacts.
How do you think anyone knows that Eric Ten Hag has decided the captaincy will be voted for by the players?
Reports.
Nonsense.
Reports suggest.
Nonsense. They don't suggest.
My sources say.
I think you need new sources. Dave's a Man United fan in Germany. Hello, Dave.
Hello, lads. How you doing? You all right?
Are you in Germany?
Yeah, I am actually. Yeah, I'm just south of Hamburg. Actually. Yeah.
Did you go?
Did I go? Definitely not. No, I didn't go. I've got my son at home.
Oh, okay.
But the reason I called. Let me just get this before I get to the point why I called. Harry Maguire. There's not going to be any bloody voting at our club about.
How do you know?
Why do I know? Because I know my club. I know my team. I know my club. I know the history. I know how the club works. And
it's not the same club.
Excuse me, Darren. Excuse me.
No, but it's not the same club. You're saying you know your club. It's not the same club anymore. It's not the same manager.
Man United, it doesn't matter who the manager is. There's only one Manchester United, end of. And we've got Eric coming in who wants to find that, get that back. Ollie brought the soul back. Now we need the heart and the direction. But let's change that, because there's no way. We can do a bet for charity if you like. There's no way Harry's going to be voted out by their own bloody players. He might as well leave the club. But just get back to the point I called. In German television, and I watched the game on German TV tonight, that the biggest comments they made is that they likened us to France, that we didn't play football until Jack Grealish came on. Mm-hmm. When Jack Grealish came on, we played football, which meant we made the game wider, if you like. And the one thing that Gareth did, with everybody's sacking Gareth Southgate, that was pathetic. I mean, one thing that Gareth did with relationship to Hungary, which was a disaster in my opinion, he did change. He went to 4 at the back, and don't forget, we've got, even from our club, Andy, we've got Shaw, Rashford, Sancho. These guys are going to come back. Everybody's panicking too soon. Everybody. But the bottom line is this: is that if we perform with a solid team, and if we go for 4-3-3, if Foden gets back, if we do start with Jack, then we can beat anybody in this group, in this nation's bloody thing. Okay. End of story.
Dave, listen, we've got to let you go because we're coming up to the news.
I know, because it's getting late, isn't it? I know, mate, I'm sorry.
No, it's not getting late, because we're going to take more calls on the back of the news, so it's not getting late at all, but I have to go now. But I love speaking to you. I love the fact you listen from Germany as well, Dave.
Cheers, mate. Take care of yourself.
Have a lovely evening. There you go, Dave, the Man United fan. This hour's done and dusted, but we've still got another 2 to come. And when we come back after the break, the next 45 minutes will be dedicated to you, the football fan. So if you've not had your say on Astro Radio, it doesn't matter. Pick up the phone and you will in just a moment. It's a free call as well on 03 717 223344.
The Sports Bar on TalkSport with MrQ.com. The no-nonsense casino where all winnings are paid in cash.
The Sky Connect summer sale is now on. Get Advantage Pro at our lowest monthly price this year, just $24.95. That's super fast business broadband with 4G internet backup for an ultra-reliable connection that won't let you down at a price that won't go up. Thanks to no in-contract price rises, guaranteed. Switch and save today in the Sky Connect summer sale. Visit skyconnect.uk. Sky Fibre areas only. 4G coverage required. New customers only. £79 setup. £12 delivery. Advantage Pro 24 or 36-month contract. Prices exclude 20% VAT. Offer ends 24th of June. See skyconnect.uk for full details.
Introducing the new McPlant. It's everything you love about the McDonald's taste, only this time it's vegan. With a juicy and succulent patty, co-created with Beyond Meat. A delicious vegan cheese alternative, vegan sandwich sauce, juicy tomato, onions, crisp lettuce, and of course, gherkins. Or not. The choice is always yours. It's our iconic taste, plant-based. For information about McPlant, visit mcdonalds.co.uk/McPlant. Served after 11 a.m. Subject to availability.
When it comes to quality paint, Valspar Trade delivers on all fronts. With its advanced water-based technology, Valspar Trade is easy to apply, with a Class 1 scrub rating, stain resistance and the perfect spray consistency. Right now there's 20% off our ready-mix paint at your local trade point. Plus, if you have a trade point loyalty discount, you'll get this on top. So there's never been a better time to try Valspar Trade. Valspar Trade, formulated for the perfect finish. Offer available until 26th of May, only from Trade Point at B&Q and online. Visit valspartrade.co.uk for more details.
Do you have a vacancy to fill right now? Because right now, at Job Centre Plus, we have thousands of people ready to work for your business. Right now, across the country, our work coaches are helping thousands of employers connect with the people they need. So right now, you could be speaking to a named employer advisor and matching a candidate to one of your vacancies. Speed up your recruitment at gov.uk/way to work.
Oh, summer in the garden. 1 minute it's just you.
Next thing you know, a bunch of your friends have shown up. But no need to worry. Just put out some comfy outdoor cushions on your IKEA garden rug. The more the merrier, we say.
Make the most of summer with our outdoor range. IKEA,
the wonderful everyday.
Sure, you're a horse racing fan. You know the course, the trainers, the jockeys, even the form of the field. With Coral's Racing Super Series, test your knowledge and you could win up to £25,000 without even picking a winner. The Racing Super Series. It's free to play every Saturday and you could win up to £25,000. Coral, get closer to the action. 18 plus, UK and Republic of Ireland. Online, mobile, retail with Connect Card. Max 1 online and 1 retail entry per customer per game. Predict a horse to place in each selected race for a share of the cash prize pot. Full T's and C's and restrictions at coral.co.uk. Take time to think.
Drive on TalkSport with We Buy Any Car. Double-headed drive time debate that's fast.
He's only doing it to wind me up.
Furious.
No, you don't really believe that.
And fanatical about football.
Normally I agree with you, but I think you've lost the plot.
Get more goal talk to the gallon on the radio show that's guaranteed to go the distance.
Oh, what a goal!
Drive tomorrow afternoon from 4 on TalkSport with We Buy Any Car. Join over 2.5 million happy customers by entering your reg number now.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave. Online. On the app. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
Get your calls in. 03717223344. We've still got the Ralph Ellis back pages tomorrow tonight. Hopefully we'll have Madness on the train. We didn't have it last night. Phone lines weren't working. But clearly they are tonight. Kevin Atchard talks European football. Nick Pete will talk a bit of boxing. And we round off the show with some fun, as always, with It's Not a Question of Sport. But for the next 45 minutes, we're taking more calls on the back of Germany 1, England 1. 03717223344. That and more coming up after the news and sport on TalkSport.
Good evening, I'm Toby Gillis. Coming up, rail strikes to cause commuter nightmares and 50 up for Kane.
TalkSport.
There are fears of chaos for thousands of rail passengers later this month, with the RMT union planning 3 days of strikes for members at Network Rail and 13 train operators on June 21st, 23rd and 25th. It's over pay and job losses. London Underground employees will also walk out for 24 hours on the first of the dates in a separate dispute. Lib Dem MP Sarah Olney, their spokesperson for business, trade and transport, told Times Radio it's poor timing.
The rail industry is just starting to get back on its feet after the pandemic. We're starting to see passenger numbers recovering to not quite yet where they were before the pandemic, but certainly we're seeing that upward trend. And what's really important right now is that people can start to feel confident in their rail services.
Monkeypox is to be listed as a notifiable disease in law from tomorrow. The UK Health Security Agency says all doctors in England will be required to notify their local council or health protection team if they suspect a patient has monkeypox. Conservative rebels say they're set on changing the party's leadership rules to force another confidence vote in Boris Johnson. Some who voted against the Prime Minister last night say he shouldn't be given the usual year-long period of immunity from another challenge. The rule can be changed by a majority of officers of the 1922 Committee of Conservatives. Meanwhile, the President of Ukraine thinks it's great news that Boris Johnson survived that confidence vote. Volodymyr Zelensky says he's glad he hasn't lost, in his words, a very important ally as the war with Russia continues.
Talk Sport Weather with QuickFit. As our business continues to grow, we are looking for people to join our team. We have tyre fitter and MOT tester roles available. Just text apply to 60060 or visit quickfit.com/careers.
Rain in the southwest this evening, moving northeast across many parts overnight and affecting most of the country on Wednesday.
Talk Sport Sports Update with Lookers. Right now you can get a £500 discount off your next car or an extra £500 toward your part exchange in our Choose Used event. Lookers, a good deal, better.
Not the result England hoped for, but they did avoid defeat in Germany and a moment of history too.
It's Kane against Neuer, right-footed. He sends it into the bottom left-hand corner. A half-century for Harry Kane. An equalising goal for England. Germany won. England won.
Yeah, Harry Kane becoming the fastest player to reach 50 goals for England, although only the second as well, as it finished 1-1 in Munich in the Nations League. Kane, though, says his records are secondary to the team. We'll try and bring you that clip later on. Meanwhile, England's under-21s have qualified for Euro 2023 after a 3-0 win over Albania. They can't be caught by nearest challengers Czech Republic because of their better record in heads-to-heads. Goals by Flo Balogun, 2 of them, and Cameron Archer sealed victory. Liverpool fans who were victims of crimes during the Champions League final in Paris last month can now file complaints online. French authorities have made a temporary arrangement for people who were robbed or attacked to contact them without using the phone or going to a police station. And Alex Zverev, who had to retire in the semi-finals of the French Open against Rafa Nadal after going over on his ankle, has had surgery on the injury. The German insists he'll come back stronger than ever.
On DAB Digital Radio and 1089 and 1053 AM, The Sports Bar on Talk Sport.
Welcome back to our number 2 Andy Goldstein Sports Bar with me, Andy Goldstein, and Darren Lego Ambrose alongside me. We've not even talked about that. We'll talk about that in a second.
Why are you doing Sports Bar today?
What?
Why are you on Sports Bar?
I was on...
Candy done drive?
Yeah, I was on jury service today.
How was you?
I can legally say that I have checked with the powers that be. Not here, there. Yeah.
Candy was good today. Enjoyed that.
That's all I heard.
He's good. Cascarino.
Yeah?
One of the best ones.
Is he?
Yeah.
I've heard it's going to be Tony Cascarino's boot room. Is that right?
Yeah, probably.
Is that going to be? With big Tony Cascarino, Alex Crook. And I don't know how true it is, but it's going to be majestic in it as well.
Oh, is it? Yeah, you like that one, Ruth? You like that one?
Have you not been told?
No, not yet. Or is it? Is this how they're telling me?
No, you've got your own show.
Yeah, what's that called?
That's Darren Ambrose's
Lego Room.
You can hear it live on TalkSport 4 a.m. till 5 a.m. on a Sunday. Right, kids, what are we going to make? You've got a Lego room, haven't you?
Not a room, but it's in my room. Yeah,
yeah.
It's in the front room.
We did this on Drive the other day, and the Lions went crazy.
Oh,
for it.
crazy! People love it.
One bloke phoned up, and he's spent 20 grand an extension to house his Lego.
And he said he'll send the pictures, and I've not received them.
Well, probably because his parents haven't.
I tell you, I've received a lot of messages though, loads from different Lego companies.
People that don't have lives.
Absolutely love it. Everyone was loving it.
Can I just say, they
actually said that was the best drive show for a long time.
Yeah. That's because they've
Talk Lego.
That's because their mums just let them listen to the wireless. Can I say that Darren Ambrose showed me a video? Can I say this?
What video?
Your wife sent you. And he said to me, he said, I'm going to show you, this is what my wife sent me. I'm thinking, where's this going? Ex-footballer. And this is where he's at. It was a video his wife has sent him of a new Lego brick that when you press it, it lights up.
It's outstanding.
And I was like, footballers have changed now.
They used to send in videos from the Home Alone house. Everyone who's listening will know what I mean, because they'll all be Lego
They'll
fans.
all know exactly what you mean.
You need to get a life. I think it's just you.
Is it?
Yeah. That don't like Lego. I'm going to buy you some Lego.
Front of the
Sun.
Sun.
What do you want?
Front of the Sun tomorrow. Ex-footballer's wife sends video of Lego.
Oh, you like Star Wars, didn't you? I'm going to buy you some Star Wars Lego.
I don't want it.
£80 budget though.
Well, what about the Millennium Falcon?
I ain't buying that.
Well, that would get me into Lego.
We should have a whip round, everyone.
Do you want me? Why don't we vote on it like the Man United captain? Right, let's go to the phone line, shall we? 03717223344. It says here I'm going to Mr. Cole. I haven't gone to him yet. Why have I gone to Mr. Cole? What's that about? Is it like a Mr. Men character? Mr. Cole, hello.
Hello.
Why have I not got your first name?
Sorry, no, I've rang up on 4 or 5 occasions and I've not got through. And then when it's John, my name is.
Hello, John.
I support Spurs, and I supported Spurs for 50-odd years.
That's why you didn't get through. They don't like us Spurs lot here.
Well, the reason is when someone rang up earlier about Jimmy Greaves and Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Well, what it is, Harry Kane, I back him...
Hold on, 1 sec. You've got your radio on behind you or your telly. We can hear it feeding back. Can you turn it off, please?
Turn it off.
Thank you.
I supported Spurs, as I say, for 50-odd years, and when you mention Harry Kane... Obviously, every time Harry Kane plays, I back him, to score the first goal. Score the first goal.
Yeah.
And then I backed him when he was in the Euros at 16-1, which he won. And I backed him last year when he won the top goal scorer. And then it's great that he's hit the 50 now. But when you mention about Jimmy Greaves, I see Jimmy Greaves play. And when you mention about Jimmy Greaves and Harry Kane, what's the name? Well, Jimmy Greaves and Alan Gilzine, but I know all them. I know all the players over the years. When I rang up the other week, basically it was someone. There was having a mile up about Spursy, and basically what it was. when Spurs, when they had that little period where they won in 71, 73 the League Cup, and then they won 81, 82, I was at all them games.
Yeah.
And I see him win the European games.
John.
Yeah.
As much as I want to go through the history of Tottenham Hotspur...
No, let him speak. I'm enjoying this.
And I love your passion for it.
Yeah.
This is going to sound so rude, and I have so much respect for you.
Yeah.
But what's your point? What do you want to get to? Because we've got so many people around, and we're off air at 1 a.m. That's all.
You can't say that. This is Mr. Cole we're talking to.
I know that sounds incredibly rude, and I love the fact you're a Spurs fan through and through, and I love the fact you saw Jimmy Greaves play, and we were comparing Jimmy Greaves to Harry Kane. So are you going to say that doesn't matter who does what for England, Jimmy Greaves was the governor? Is that what you're going to say?
Well, you can't really put the period of time because. I was fortunate enough to meet Alan Gilzine, his partner. You know Alan Gilzine? There might be a bit few, you know.
No, I remember Gilzine, yeah.
Yeah, well, I was fortunate to meet Alan Gilzine, and he took me to a few semi-finals and that finals. Alan Gilzine, he was the finest header of a ball ever.
Okay. So who are you saying is the best? Greaves or Kane?
Gilzine.
Well, I would, at the present moment, in my early days, would obviously be... Greaves.
Okay.
I see him score when he against Newcastle, where he went round the 4 players.
I remember the famous goal.
Yeah, well, I was there all that period of time. I'm sort of boring about the Spurs.
You're not boring me at all. I love the fact you can go that far back and we can't, sadly. But thank you so much for your call.
Yes, fine.
Have a lovely evening, sir.
You take care now. Thank you very much.
John.
Thanks. There you go, John. See, that's the problem with football. People get so engrossed in what they're talking about. They just go all the way back to... Which is nice to hear.
Spurs historian. That's interesting.
Spurs historian.
If we had time, obviously we could have listened to most of that.
Yeah, if we had time. So I don't want to be rude to him. He's a lovely fella. No, hello, rude. Gary.
It's very rude.
Gary, Liverpool fan.
Hello.
Hi, Gary.
Hello, boys.
Get straight to your point, mate. We'll cut you off.
I was putting me to sleep then. I was ringing up.
Don't say that.
John was all right.
He loves his football.
I was fading out.
Go on then. Prove that you're better than him.
How you doing, boys? Anyway.
Yeah,
I was really wound up tonight with the formation again and the player choices in the Southgate lineup. I can't work out every time why he can't get to grips with the midfield. I like the midfielders we got, but every time I think we keep playing the 2. I know Mount was playing up the Kane. But I was just thinking to myself, if we had stuck another body in there and then just played with the 3 up top and maybe put Grealish on the left, Sterling on the right, and Calvin, Phillips, Bellingham and Rice, I thought it would have worked a lot better. I think we would have had a bit more control. And I was looking at Rice, and I'll tell you what, up and down he puts in a shift and half, that boy. He was sweating like anything. I've never seen anybody running up and down as hard as him all night. But you watch Kimmich and... the other fella, Gundogan, or whatever his name is, and they didn't break sweat because they had control. And I also like to congratulate Kane tonight as well, getting his 50, because I think that's a great achievement, you know. I know he gets slaughtered in that, but...
Why do you think that, though? Why do you think he gets slaughtered?
Because I think that people think he comes too deep. But I actually think if we used our nous and said to ourselves, I'll tell you what, let's do what Son does at Spurs, run him behind, get beyond him, so when he does turn on a pivot and he's beating the centre half that's opposing him, get the ball in behind. That's his job. He's a great assister, and we don't use it right, you know? We got all the elements to be a really good side, and I think Germany was scared. I mean, you look at the shots and on target tonight, 15 and 8 we had, so they're 13 and 6 or something. I mean, even though we didn't play well, we scared them, I thought. I just think we need to let the handbrake off a bit and have a real go.
Yeah, I don't think too many people disagree with you. I don't think we can read too much into tonight's performance because there's a few players that I think when everyone's fit and we get to a World Cup, we'll be playing that weren't tonight for various reasons. But, yeah, I'd agree with most of that. Gary, you're a Liverpool fan, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
Well done on the League Cup win.
I knew that was coming. The old rocket into the weight again. Well, let's hope it's like the players, they don't cost 50 million.
Gary, you're a superstar. Thanks so much for phoning.
Cheers, boys. Thanks. Have a good one.
You too.
You know what I'll say, and could you sit here now and tell me England's best 11?
What, in my view, or Southgate's?
Do you think you could name the best 11?
What, mine or Southgate's?
Yeah.
You just said to 2 questions.
No, yours.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I could name my best 11.
Well, everyone fit?
Everyone fit.
Yeah. I'll do it
because you'd say one, you'd say Grealish, then you go, actually Foden.
Yeah, I'll play both. I'll play both.
But then you've got Saka.
Yeah, I wouldn't play him.
I think that's the issue. I don't think Southgate doesn't know his best 11.
I know my best 11.
Okay, we'll do it in the break.
All right. You're producing now, yeah?
Well,
that time you've done something.
Is anyone?
That's a very good point. Keep your calls coming in 037. But I'm enjoying this. 03717223344. You listen to the Sports Bar on TalkSport in partnership with MrQ.com. The No Nonsense Casino, over 18s only, BigAmblerWare.org.
The Sports Bar on TalkSport with MrQ.com. Sign up for 20 free spins with your first deposit, with all winnings paid in cash. MrQ.com, the no-nonsense casino.
A traffic update for all late-night travellers. There are delays outside getting to bed due to a hold-up at Grand's Never-Ending Stories. Please take the diversion via Mayo Chicken or a warming latte, which will see you home. Plenty of McDonald's restaurants are open late tonight. See mcdonalds.com for opening times.
All roads lead to your nearest Arnold Clark this weekend. Get one of 3 amazing free road trip rewards when you buy a used car. Choose from an overnight stay for 2, a £50 Amazon.co.uk gift card, or a Road Angel Halo Go dashcam. It's road trip rewards at Arnold Clark, and it starts this Friday. See arnoldclark.com.
Manager's got to bring down a government. We're going to change the world.
Smashing into Disney Plus. Pistol, a brand new original drama.
Our singer is fully insane. Our bass player starts fights for laughs. This is punk. 2, 3, 4. Come see us play. We're awful. Ladies and gentlemen, Sex Pistols.
From director Danny Boyle, Pistol, now streaming exclusively on Disney Plus. 18 plus subscription required. T's and C's apply.
People ask me why I'm always installing Samsung Aircon. Well, take their Win-Free range. Its clever tech spreads cool air evenly around the room, keeping you cool without blasting you with icy cold air. What's more, you can control your Samsung Aircon with your smartphone, and you'll even get a 7-year warranty. It's the ideal cooling solution for any home or office.
Search Samsung Aircon to find your cool.
Boost your Experian credit score. Boost your score, boost it high, space high. Boost your credit score to space with Experian Boost. Grab that boost high. Boost your credit score instantly for free, only with Experian. Free Experian account linked to your current account is required. Score increase subject to status.
Introducing the new McPlant. It's everything you love about the McDonald's taste, only this time it's vegan. With a juicy and succulent patty, co-created with Beyond Meat. A delicious vegan cheese alternative, vegan sandwich sauce, juicy tomato, onions, crisp lettuce, and of course gherkins. Or not, the choice is always yours. It's our iconic taste, plant-based. For information about McPlant, visit mcdonalds.co.uk/McPlant. Served after 11 a.m. Subject to availability.
Talk Sport and Talk Sport 2.
When I met you in the summer.
It's a sizzling summer of live sport featuring the Nations League.
Oh, there's the header and it's in!
Plus every transfer and all the big stories.
Hold the back page.
This summer on TalkSport and TalkSport 2.
Oh, yes.
Where the season never
I don't.
Is it? Can I ask, Rufus? Do you know what Snapchat is? Right. Is it? I can send texts, but they go quickly. Is that what it is? That's basically it. And videos.
Rufus don't know.
What's the point? Why people just use WhatsApp? People use WhatsApp.
Rufus looks like someone from Stranger Things. Have you seen Stranger Things?
He just looks like a strange thing. Do you mean he dresses like someone from the 80s? Is that what you mean? I haven't seen the new series. Have you seen it?
I've seen the first one.
Of the new series?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just worry that they've just been given more money and they just run out of ideas.
No, there's a new idea and it's brilliant.
Oh, Rufus just said it is exactly like that.
No, it's not. It's brilliant.
It's very nerdy, is it? Okay.
It's nerdy.
Is there a scene where a room goes dark, lights flicker? Is that... There's loads.
Don't give it away.
Is it, and kids are running about with...
You'd hate that, wouldn't you, with the lights flickering? I've heard you about lights. Bentley tells me.
What do you mean? What does that mean? What do you mean?
Bit of a diva when it comes to lights.
Oh, no. What, these lights?
Yeah.
Oh, no. What happens is they're fine at the moment, but some presenters move them, and then when I come in, they're in the wrong places.
I know who moves them.
Who moves them?
I'm not telling you.
What'd you say that for, then?
Laugh.
Love?
It's a laugh, isn't it?
Oh, right, okay. All right. Well, good luck on Tony Casperino's boot room. Right. Should we go to the phone? The phone line is 0371 722 3344. Paul's a Man United fan. Hello, Paul.
Hi, fellas. You all right?
We're great. Are you all right? Have you seen Stranger Things yet?
What?
You haven't?
No.
Have you got any Lego?
When I was 7, I had some.
What do you want to say, Paul? Come on, what do you want to say?
Paul, what do you think of grown... Hold on. What do you think of grown men that build Lego? What do you think of them, Paul?
I'll keep that to myself.
Yeah.
What about it, does it?
What about if they build a shelf unit to show off their Lego to their friends?
Show off it?
Grown people.
Yeah, I'll keep that to myself as well. I've got a mate that's into Lego.
Really?
Anyway.
What'd you get him for his 10th birthday? More Lego?
More Lego, yeah.
Go on then, Paul, what do you want to say?
Yeah, I just want to back Darren up on the Ten Hag voting for his captain. I googled Man United transfer news other day.
Yeah.
And there were loads of headlines on Man United, and one of them actually said that, I think he did it at Ajax as well, where he actually does get the players to vote for who they want to be captain. Whether it's true or not, but it would definitely hit headlines on Google